Good morning. Welcome in. This update presented by Mercedes-Benz. We got drama in the world of golf as the PGA Tour and Live Golf have merged leagues. Live Golf, which is funded by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, has been putting on their league since June 9th, 2022, and just a few days before their one-year anniversary. The two leagues have now come together in a private meeting yesterday with PGA Tour players and PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan. He was called a hypocrite. Multiple players asked for a change in leadership for the PGA Tour. There's going to be a lot more to come out of this story. Padres lose yesterday to the Mariners 4-1 as the inconsistent play remains, consistent. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Wacha going to be on the mound for the Padres. NBA Finals, Game 3 goes down tonight in Miami. Series tied up at 1 game apiece. Heat, Nuggets, Game 3, 5:30 tonight. Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family of the Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member waiting to impress. Learn more at mbusa.com. That is mbusa.com.
Start off easy. Start with the obvious.
This is Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Those goofy bastards are just about the best thing I've got going in this crazy world.
Makes you proud to be an American.
On San Diego Sports 760. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Virtual reality is you're just in a fictitious space. Augmented reality is you live in the space that you're in. Things can come to life. You can bring a screen up. I can do things with it.
You is smart.
That man is a tech wizard.
Like, you can look around the room and be like, I wonder what that couch from IKEA will look like in the living room. Right. And then all of a sudden you blink twice and you have the food dwarf is sitting right there.
Like, my thought process immediately went to, okay, well, starting next year, we're going to be able to...
I'm not sure if that's appropriate.
Let's be very honest with each other. When the Vision Pro, when Tim Cook is out there, we're like, yeah. Can we get the ski goggle porn? Is that a part of this presentation?
Are you saying that you don't want to get with this?
Can you imagine if you put on your teenager's Vision Pro and you're like, Pornhub again? Why is everything so big?
Yes! Oh! I'll have what she's having.
Well, for now, here are the guys.
Yeah. Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate Hump Day. We're there.
That is true.
We found our way in.
It's actually true.
And also the Day of Days, a very special day that we've been waiting for since March. I mean, that's when this all started. I went back through Twitter histories and Instagram handles, and I listened to former podcasted episodes of our show and the Darren Smith show, the War of Words between J-Riff and Ben Fletcher at times where Fletch took a silent stance. That is no more. Fletch has been very open and vocal now about how he will dominate Jonathan Rifkin in the Hardwood and Balls Classic, which a day ago, less than 36 hours, we thought may not happen on the date we selected, which was June 7th. And it's because of some paperwork that needed to be pushed through. But the powers that be found it so important to get this tournament on the court, settled for good, that they put a rush on everything. And here we are today, tip off 4 p.m. on John and Jim. It is a station-wide event. We have a promotion team that's heading over to the Mesa at 1:30. We're going to have setup. We're going to have visits from J.D. Wicker in the 3 o'clock hour, from Dave Velasquez in the 4 o'clock hour, San Diego State basketball, the national championship run that they went on. And we're going to see Jonathan Rifkin and Ben Fletcher settle everything on the court. This is incredible.
This has been months in the making.
Yeah.
Months. I've watched a lot of tape of J-Riff over the past couple of weeks. He definitely favors that right hand.
Yeah.
So I think if you can get him to cross up a little bit, I think maybe you have an advantage there.
Got to cut him off.
The only thing is, Ben, due to your stamina, you may need to wrap this up in 45 to 70 seconds.
Where's the trophy?
The trophy's right over here. The Hardwood and Balls Classic trophy.
You move it into my line of vision.
With
Yeah,
the coveted
hang on.
icy gold cures.
Hang on a second. First, I'm going to turn my camera around. Then I'll move it to you. Because I do, as your coach, I want you to visualize this win.
Right. Now, we are going to order some sort of plaque or something to go on the front of this thing. I didn't do that.
at all.
Well, here's the thing. I was not nervous. I feel like there are very little stakes for me in this whole thing. Like, it's embarrassing if he loses, right? That's what everyone keeps saying over and over again. Until I saw that trophy.
Look at that thing.
I've never wanted anything more in my life than that trophy. I wanted to live in not our office forever. I want my jersey that I'll be wearing to be enshrined in some giant glass case. And I want to make sure I win this thing so that is mine.
It's I mean, it's understandable.
Like,
it's
you
understandable.
Are a master.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if master.
This took you like 3 hours.
That's a gorgeous trophy.
Yeah, but it was honestly after the 3 hours, I thought that took about 2.5 hours, way too long. So,
no, dude, it looks fantastic.
I mean, it is quite, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm glad you took your time with this. I'm glad that you took out the table saw, which, by the way, is an awesome table saw. I was very jealous. I was like, oh my God, I need one of those.
Dad has all the tools.
He's got all the tools.
Yeah, I got so many tools.
We need to blast it with some, like, what's the really cold air stuff called?
Nitrogen?
That, so that the mountains are blue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's been out of the fridge now for about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry.
Those cans they can't stay cold on their own.
So
they need help.
I also thought if it was just a normal Coors, it would look pretty good on there. But
a banquet beer,
mm-hmm. a nice tall boy.
Yeah.
But I went with the Coors Light because that is the show favorite.
What's the circle?
Well, it's the representation of a basketball.
No, what is the circle? What's it made out of?
It's a candle holder.
I love this trophy so much. Did you weld anything on this thing?
No, come on.
I was gonna say, did you take out like
it's drilled holes in the candle holder.
Took out a welding torch. He's out there with solder.
I was gonna fill myself with like a piece of rebar and some fire. Sparks flying.
We do have official rules for today now. It's going to be a best of 3 series, games to 7 points, 1s and 2s. That way we get breaks in the middle and I can drink some Gatorade.
Yeah.
This could wrap up though in 14 points.
It could, and I'm planning on it.
Wow. That's what I wanted to hear, Benny. Boy, that's what I wanted to hear.
Jeez.
As your coach, I love the way you're talking right now. I love the way you're talking right now.
Hey, can we just like cuss out Jim Russell real quick?
Why? What did Jim say?
Okay,
what did he set the line at?
Yeah.
JREF minus 7,000.
Yeah, I talked to him about this yesterday.
What is he smoking?
It was a great interview, by the way.
It was
Rich Ornberger joining John and Jim.
He's smoking crack. That's what he's smoking. Crack cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah, John and Jim invited me on, and John is in Florida attending with some family stuff, and I jumped on the show and was interviewed by Jim Russell and Brent Spurry, producer of the John and Jim show. And while I was talking to them, he was like, so what kind of odds are we looking at here? I'm like, odds? We don't need odds. He's like, well, I play some odds on it. And that's when he laid it on me. And I said, that's ridiculous.
Can I get $100 on that?
Dude, seriously. Is someone taking bets? I'm throwing the house on myself.
Well, yeah. I mean, what it is.
Yeah. That's right.
You've been labeled the ultimate underdog. And I said,
Doesn't make sense.
I
I'm
said
older,
to Jim,
I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I'm bigger.
Well, I said to Jim, I was like, that's in our favor. I said, because we didn't want to be a favorite heading into this. Yeah. I said, we want to surprise everyone. And Jim said, it would be surprising. I was like, well, that is then prepare to be surprised.
Right. Jim's talking like he's my next loser.
We're going to do a weigh-in in the 3 o'clock hour.
Why?
Oh, wait, are you
shy to get on this?
No, I don't care, but why? Because it's not a boxing match.
It's like it sort of is. Well, I mean, it's a grudge match.
Yeah, there's definitely a grudge match.
Yeah. We're gonna bring in several scales. We're gonna get you guys on a scale, and then we're gonna have you guys do the pre-fight dukes up thing, we want to stare down. It's basically for the picture.
I also want like a big long table and you guys on either side of the broadcast
like
area.
Pre-fight
presser. Yeah.
Well, we have 2 regular size tables coming.
That works fine.
We do have the big 760 backdrop coming.
Ooh.
We got some speakers for some walkout music.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. What do we know what your walkout music's going to be yet? Have we tinkered with it?
Didn't we talk about it yesterday?
Yeah, but I mean,
we never nailed it down.
I was going to do the dance.
What's the dance? Like Garth Brooks the dance?
Oh, yeah. Here, wait, turn it on.
Oh, you're doing that?
Jump on it?
What's that? The hustle?
Yeah. Tonto, jump on it. Jump on it.
Open to suggestions. Doesn't have to be
You don't want to go with it. I believe in miracles.
When wrong, you such a thing. Why did it go wrong? Hey, all right.
Do we know if this is catered?
Ooh,
yeah.
We do need food.
Dude, just like everything else with this thing, if we want it catered, we got to go get food.
Hold on. Are you going to carbo load? Are you going to carbo load now during the show?
Dude, my life is carbo loading. That's all I've done.
Well, as his coach, I've instructed him to do just that. So he's listening to instruction.
His whole life.
Fantastic.
Carbs.
I'll tell you what, I am so impressed with the shape that he was able to get in with 1 day of training.
It was under an hour.
I mean, it really was less than an hour, but it's all he needed, I think.
I thought it worked out
Dude,
well.
the new format, because J-Riff was the one that brought this up to me. If these games are to 7 and there's 3 of them, way more confident.
Well, hold on. Now, so you're playing 1s and 2s.
Correct.
Winner gets the ball, loser gets the ball.
He said winner. That's not basketball to me, but I'll do it. I also think that's advantage me.
Okay. I love the way you're talking right now.
Are you saying this is going to end 7-0?
It's a very real possibility.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So there is a text out, by the way. We later in the show, we're going to be joined by Kevin Acee, our Padres insider and our best friend.
Yeah.
He'll be on the show. We'll talk some pods with him. They lost again yesterday to the Mariners after beating the ever-living snot out of the Cubs.
Don't worry. Padres will win today 10-1.
Yeah. Because that's what they do. So we'll talk to Kevin about all that. Also, Peter Costas, longtime golf analyst. Now you can see him on YouTube, Costas and McCord.
Oh, it's official. Fastest growing golf YouTube page in the country.
Yeah, they're incredible. I watched them during the Masters, some of their coverage. They are hysterical still. They've always been. And they're very real. Like they will talk about story. They'll talk about anything. And they will be very honest about this situation in the PGA now merging with Live Golf under the Saudi PIF, which is that private investment fund. And we'll get to all that. But we also have a text out to J-Riff.
I don't want him to come on.
Why?
Why are we giving him airtime?
I'm just saying. I mean,
I would like to hear the matchup.
Okay, then give him a 45 segment. Don't give him anything with any girth.
Do you want us to break early then, coming out of the 30?
No.
What? Why are
you
you
could
so
have
angry?
like 750 to 754.
I mean, if you're that confident, I mean, it doesn't matter if you has the whole show.
That's a good
No,
point.
it's just, why do we need him on our show? Why do we like? It's I don't know.
Don't you want to hear from your opponent?
I don't.
I kind of feel like I want a scouting report.
Yeah,
on it.
that's what I'm saying. Learn a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
like I want
dig into the mind.
Here's what I think we do. I think we could even lie to Jonathan Rifkin and just be like, yeah, Ben left the studio because he was so disgusted with you.
Right.
And then you can sit here and you can listen to him because we're going to ask him, I mean, frankly, about scheme. Like as coach and assistant coach here, Travis wearing his whistle today.
That's right. That's right. Come on.
We have a lot of things we need to ask Jonathan Rifkin to see if we could peel back some of this banana and get to the meat of the situation.
You didn't want to go onion on that?
That's fine.
Peel back the banana.
It is the hardwood and balls classic.
You're damn right it is. Which
true.
By the way, we have already had a lot of discussions about how we keep this flowing. And I do agree with you. Jim Russell sounds like a hater. He sounds like he may be the next target of the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
Here's the deal. J-Riff, to his credit, goes along with it, right? Kind of takes all the stuff we throw at him. Be like, Jay, just sit in the corner. We'll handle everything. And then he goes and makes an awesome video about himself.
Yeah, highlight video.
And he did a really good job with that.
Right.
By the way, found out he didn't edit or shoot any of it.
Okay.
Wait, who did?
The lead media something or other at USF, the University of San Francisco.
Yeah,
So we had pro help. He had pro help.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Right.
Yeah,
I thought our pro helped in a little better. That's all I'm saying.
Jim Russell would be like, what? This is stupid. Why are we doing this? Huh?
Wow, I feel like
I want you to play him today.
I feel like he's next. He's on the list. And then
No, I feel like next time I shouldn't be involved. This is
really?
gonna be a one-off thing. I'm gonna ride off into the sunset as a victor.
What if
I'm gonna win.
what if you lose?
I'm not
good
gonna
point.
lose.
Okay.
That
right.
thought hasn't even come into my head.
Tell you right now, love the way he's talking. Love the way he's talking.
I love the words that are coming out of your mouth.
You know what? I think everybody hates the words that are coming out of Jay Monahan's mouth.
Oh
though.
my gosh.
So PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan, if you haven't been keeping up with this story, I don't blame you, because it kind of exploded about a year and a half ago, a little more than a year and a half ago, and then it kind of settled into what it is. You know, you have Live Golf, this brand new golf league funded by the Saudis, that just burst onto the scene and guaranteed a ton of money to a bunch of golfers who jumped from the PGA into Live Golf. Phil Mickelson, obviously, being the feature piece of all of that, but Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Ian Poulter, a lot of guys who either play on the PGA or the DP World Tour, which is the European Tour. And then that storyline kind of like settled down after a while, because everybody got used to the idea of, all right, we're not going to see these players on tour anymore, but we are going to see them at the majors for the most part.
And then Brooks Koepka won a major.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all this is coming out.
I don't think
They're correlated. They have to.
I don't think it is, because if you looked into this
7 weeks, they've been talking about it, but you like this fast forwarded it.
Oh, I bet it's been more than 7 weeks, but they just want to say 7 weeks.
Yeah.
The problem is Live Golf is, in my opinion, looked at as kind of the evil league. I mean, it's, if you're looking at the good league and the bad league, at least that's how the PGA was spinning it when this was first happening.
Yep.
Of, you know, hey, these are bad people that are back in this thing. This is what you want to be a part of. And now we're here.
Well, as a matter of fact, let's hear from Jay Monahan himself. So he sat down with Jim Nantz. This is from last year. And when they had a discussion before a tournament about exactly what we're saying, he pulled no punches. He talked about exactly who these people are who are backing Live, what they're about. And he said this a lot, but give this a listen. This interview, this exchange is about a minute and a half, but it's very telling as to what Jay Monahan was spreading, not only to the golfers, but the general public. Yeah. So that was a message that he spread for months and months. He was talking about how if you accept this money, it's dirty money. I feel like behind the scenes, they were encouraging some of these coalitions that defend the families of those who were lost in 9/11 to get involved in this from a public relations standpoint. And then all of a sudden, he became very quiet. And the mouthpieces of this movement became guys like Tiger Woods, who reportedly turned down $800 million to go play on the Live Golf League.
Man. I mean, and he was one of a number of players who turned down money.
Rory McIlroy reportedly turned down $300 million to play on Live. How about lesser known guys, but guys who recently had won during that era when Live started? Will Zalatoris.
Scotty Scheffler.
Career earnings to that point, Will Zalatoris was $15 million. Career earnings. He was offered $30 million to jump ship on the PGA to join Live Golf. He turned it down. Why? In an interview, and it's a great interview, I remember it almost word for word, because at the time I was like all invested in this. I'm like, how do you turn down that kind of money? He goes, because I want to play in majors. Money isn't important to me. Well, it turns out a lot of the Live golfers were able to play in majors. So that was the first hypocritical thing that happened with Jay Monahan.
John Rahm talked about it, said, this
Yep.
is where legacies are built. This is where the guys that I grew up watching cut their teeth and built their legacies. I'm not going to go over there and tarnish mine.
Yeah.
And now Jay Monahan's made it so it's not even a choice for these players. Their legacies are going to be tarnished.
Well, he was asked about this because he did a press conference. Jay Monahan did, the commissioner of the PGA, and he was asked flat out how players and people are going to perceive him. Here's what he had to say about that. No.
Yeah. Well, the circumstances that you called out as to why that league shouldn't exist have not changed.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. And they can't change.
No,
Right.
because and also you can't change the words you used and the things you decided to do from a public relations standpoint. What changed is Jay Monahan is going to be a very rich man.
Yep.
So apparently there have been 7 or 8 weeks, call it 2 months, of meetings between the second-hand man of Mohammed bin Salam, who's the crown prince out there in Saudi Arabia. His second-hand man was meeting with Jay Monahan and 2 of the highest-ranking executives in the PGA. So these 4 people had multiple sit-downs and conversations about how to merge Live Golf, the DP World Tour, and the PGA all together collaboratively. What they've done is now the PIF, the private investment fund with the Saudis, is the only investor or the controlling investor, and they gave $3 billion to the PGA. And they now can decide if they want any other investors to come in. They've created a for-profit entity that is going to rule over the DP World Tour, the Live Golf League, and the PGA. These 3 are merged under the Saudi PIF. The PGA, well, now Jay Monahan is still the controller of the PGA as commissioner, but he's also the CEO of this for-profit program. So what do CEOs get? Enormous salaries.
Yeah.
That's why, because for years and since the creation, the PGA Tour has been not for profit. Now, when you say that, well,
And it still will
NCAA
be.
is
Yeah.
not for profit.
It's not for profit as long as you spend all the money you're making.
So this is shady.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was not one of the people that came out and blamed players for going and taking the money, because I'm like, you're talking generational wealth. Guys were getting hundreds of millions of dollars to take care of them, their families, forever into history. I did not blame a single person for going over. I have no problem blaming Jay Monahan for coming out and speaking about families of 9/11. Like, you can't attach emotional stuff like that. And then less than a year later, the first Live tournament was on June 9th, 2022. Less than a year later, completely turn around.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt. And there's going to be more and more that comes out here that we'll probably get more frustrated with. But
I can't wait for Peter Costas.
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
right.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk to him about it. Look, my thoughts on it is a wise man once said to me about things like this. If there's going to be snakes in the room, I'd rather have the lights on. Well, now you know where the snakes are. And Jay Monahan's one of them.
Yep.
He accepted money from people that he basically outlined as terrorists to merge these leagues. And hypocrite, that's probably not as far as the word should go, but that's where we're at with golf. All right, coming up next, let's get to the Padres. If you want to hear the most frustrating trend maybe ever, just stick around. We'll be back.
The most frustrating trend in baseball lives right here in San Diego. We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by Mercedes-Benz. Drama in the world of golf as the PGA Tour and Live Golf have merged leagues officially. Live Golf, funded by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, has been putting on their league since June 9th, 2022. Just before their one-year anniversary, the two leagues have come together, much to surprise to a lot of the PGA Tour players who are not happy yesterday and today. Padres lose yesterday to the Mariners 4-1 as the inconsistent play continues. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Padres. 110 first pitch. NBA Finals Game 3 going down tonight in Miami. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Heat Nuggets Game 3 at 5:30 tonight. And we have a wild stat about Miami that must be brought up on this show. Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member waiting to impress. Learn more at MBUSA.com. That is MBUSA.com.
Oh yeah. Darren Smith pumped up for it as well. Look, we get it. It's probably one of the most important sporting events ever to hit San Diego. Definitely the most important sporting event today, even with the NBA Finals happening today.
And Padres Mariners.
And Padres Mariners.
You know, Marty's going to the Padres game instead of coming to the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
Not shocked.
Don't
Me neither.
understand. What about Kevin Acee?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out at 8:30.
Yeah, we will find out.
But he's going to hop on a plane to Colorado probably during the Hardwood and Balls Classic. So
I feel like Marty looks at our show as like just an obstacle during her day.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally we'll feed her. Like, did we give her a grilled
I
cheese
gave
sandwich
her
yesterday?
the fig one yesterday.
Yeah. Like we'll share what we cook in studio.
Right.
But outside of that, she sees no use for us.
No, we're kind of like animals in a cage in here, and she just hopes when she comes in, someone is cleaned up after.
So
us.
during that update, I teased a wild stat about Miami, and I'm not talking about the Heat. We don't have to get to it now.
Yeah.
But did I send this to you guys?
Yeah,
you did. You did, and we immediately put it in the rundown.
Good.
Yeah, so we'll be talking
very,
about,
very important
at 7:00. Probably the most important stat about Miami. Looking forward to that.
Also in the 7:00 hour, we're going to do a little sitcom rodeo and give away a gift card to Big Cheech's Chicken Waffle and Sliders, mouthwatering meals made from quality ingredients and lightning fast service. Big Cheech's on Carroll Canyon Road, or online at bigcheecheschicken.com, or via Uber Eats, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
Sounds like a pregame meal for me.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, if you don't have at least 2 Big Cheech's chicken waffles, I don't know if you're going to be ready for the game.
We're going to have to discuss that too, coming up here shortly, exactly how we're going to prep you for the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
Yeah.
It's very important that you get everything you need leading up to tip-off. Right now, he's sucking
all I need.
down an energy drink.
I'm drinking one of the Strawberry Dreams that they kindly gave us one of.
They launched that on our show.
Yeah, they did.
Monster did the Strawberry Dreams. Do we have Monster Energy in the break room vending machine, the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
But it's the full power one. I don't really like
those.
that
Are
one
my
as much.
favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
they asked me what I wanted. I said,
Give me Monster.
full power,
full throttle
power.
Monsters,
and a lot of beef jerky.
The Padres over the last 8 games. Listen to this:
Puke.
9-4 win, 2-1 loss. 10-1 win.
What?
2-1 loss. 6-0 win. 7-1 loss. 5-0 win.
Woo!
And last night to the Mariners, a 4-1 loss.
Ouch.
I mean, it is now. I mean, truly today, I'm assuming they're going to beat the Mariners by 15. I mean, it is just
going to go off.
The highest of highs, the lowest of lows, and it's just bouncing back and forth. They cannot consistently win.
And I'm sick of people saying, oh, well, they're facing a really good pitcher. Yeah, everybody faces good pitchers. It's freaking Major League Baseball. Like, everyone has good pitchers on their team. Good teams beat good pitchers. That's what they do.
Well, and this again, and once again, we've been saying it for months. On paper, the good pitching still should have a real tough time holding up against this lineup. I mean, they should be scoring more runs.
Yeah.
Not just more hits, but so many more runs.
How do you go 10-1, 9-1, 4-1, 5? You know, how do you go back and forth like that?
What
It don't make no sense.
What it says to me is you can, but you can't do it. When you can do something, but you can't do it consistently, what it speaks to me is that you're not putting forth the same like mental effort on a daily basis. Like you ever in school, either you, a friend, or even if you're raising kids, like you get frustrated when you see like a bad grade after a good grade. And it's because, you studied real hard for one test, but then you slacked after that. And it's like, okay, that's not how this works. Like you got to put forth the same consistent effort on a daily basis. Otherwise the results will start to drop off. It almost feels like the Padres, they roll out there after an embarrassing loss, and then they have for one night only, like the stick-to-itiveness to just get it done, whatever it takes. And then all of a sudden it's like, yep, nailed that test. Don't have to study anymore.
Wait, there's one again today?
Wait, I thought we were done.
Yeah, there's 162 of these MFers, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. You're running out of time, dude.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Now, Dan Zimborski actually, he threw some water on the idea that what we've seen so far is a huge problem. He threw some stats at us yesterday, and I even followed up with him. I was like, so you honestly believe that the Padres have a chance to pull this thing and turn it around? And he was like, well, yeah. He was like, because it would be bizarre if they don't.
That was his line yesterday. Preseason indicators are actually still going to give you a better indication of what's to come than what we've seen so far through 60 whatever games.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the long sample size of the 162 game season, it gives you a better idea of how they'll finish in the preseason than at this point with the short sample size we have.
Which is why the Padres, who are like 2 games better than the Rockies at this point, still have a 56% or so chance to make the playoffs. Rockies have a 0.
Yeah, but preseason, weren't they slated to win 91 games? Is that what they were talking about? I mean, that seems so far off now.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, yeah. So I'm just saying, right off the get-go, I'm looking at these analytics going, are you sure?
Well, here's the thing. If you think about it, now what we've seen is what we've seen. And I understand that colors how you think about the team moving forward. But they have just as good of a chance from today to have a really bad season as they do a really good season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation. And especially if these players collectively are able to forget what's happened, act like the season has started today, and just start racking off win after win after win. Now, you don't have to win every single game, but I mean, it's not inconceivable to think the Padres can go 15-5 over the next 20 games, and all of a sudden the ship is righted in a big way. I mean, it's not inconceivable. They have enough talent in the rotation. They certainly have enough talent in the lineup. They have a strong bullpen. They don't have a ton of injuries. That's the other thing that we haven't talked about a lot so far this season, but they've been fortunate with health. They just haven't been playing well. So if they do turn it around mentally, because I honestly, physically, this team should be capable. And again, health-wise, they've been fortunate. So this has to be a mental issue that they're struggling through.
I mean, not super fortunate. Xander has a wrist thing. He might be going on the IL. Manny Machado missed time.
Yeah, but
like
he missed
the
10
pitching staff
games.
has been healthy.
If they go 15-5 over the next 20 games, that wrist thing hurts a lot less.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does. And players start playing through some pain. The little tweaks that may have happened, you start to just play through and look past. I agree. They go on a nice run here. The talk changes completely. The feeling changes. The mood changes. The attitude changes. There's a lot of things fixed, but it's only fixed really with winning. I mean, that's the cure.
What has this team shown you so far that says a 15-5 run is coming?
No, I know
nothing.
I know. And I completely agree with you. That does not sound possible right now where we're currently sitting with what we have already witnessed. But it's just as conceivable that they go 15-5 as it is that they go 5-15. Like it really is. Like the baseball season is long and it's weird.
Yeah, but probably they're going to go 7-8 or 8-7.
No, I know.
That's what they've been doing.
It's the most likely situation is that things remain the way they are. And the Padres have proven that they're about a 500 team, slightly worse than a 500 team. That's the way they've been playing. But it's a game of runs. It's it's a game of momentum. We've talked about this before. Hitting is contagious. They haven't caught it yet. They haven't caught the bug. And so After talking to Dan yesterday, I really am more hopeful than I was before. I thought he was going to give us a more dire circumstance, like because we do have such a long sample size. But again, this is a really long season. I mean, think about how much more we have to go. 3.5 months until the playoffs. That's a long time. You could get a lot of wins in 3.5 months.
Good news. Thursday, off day. Then Monday, off day. 2 of them coming up in the next 4 days
because they can't be losses.
Well, they can't be losses, and it's just
can't lose, can't play.
Well, it gives you a chance to maybe skip Ryan Weathers in the rotation. It gives you a chance to maybe line things up the way you want them. Also, good news, you're playing against the Rockies, who are the only team in the National League, I think, worse than the Padres.
Yeah, and that's on the text line from the 805, and this seems to be a growing sentiment here, is Padres 1 run, 4 hits last night. We spent money for this? I mean, that's
a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money. 619, no parade for pretty analytics. Yeah, I mean,
well, look,
they need to rack up wins. They need to rack up wins, and it can't be splitting series constantly because you're not going to make it. You're going to keep falling further behind.
Analytics is how this team was built. Analytics is how this team got to the postseason last year. I mean, they were a better team than they were supposed to be, or I shouldn't say supposed to be. On paper, they were supposed to be a better team than they were in the regular season last year and actually bore fruit in the postseason. So I'm hoping for the same. Now, if this is going to be a disappointing regular season, but somehow they limp into the postseason, as long as they win in the postseason, I don't really care. I mean, it sucks. It makes it turbulent and nauseating to watch them on a night in, night out basis. But as long as they get ultimately to where they need to go and they win in the postseason, who cares?
Right.
I don't love it. The ride's going to be bumpy, but ultimately that's what we're looking for as a championship, not for to be the best regular season team.
Right. It's also what I was worried about when the MLB expanded the postseason, because say the Padres do limp through it and honestly don't deserve a postseason spot, but they sneak in. That's the issue. That's the issue the NBA has right now with half the league making it. That's the issue baseball is going to have with half the league making it. Like, it's no longer where there's any sort of urgency or any sort of pressure put on the regular season. So guys are just going to coast. And that makes the regular season unwatchable. And that makes all the money that you Padre fans have spent on season tickets to fill up Petco Park, to sell that thing out. I think they're up to 22 sellouts and like 15, 16 wins at Petco Park. Like, that's unacceptable. The fact that the fans have done that much for the regular season, that's where you're making your money, Padres, and you're just going to limp into the postseason.
Yeah. I mean, I promise you that's not what the players want to be doing.
No. I also promise you that if they do limp into the postseason and they're in the postseason, players aren't worried about it. Or not the players, the fans aren't worried about it. Get to the postseason and then start working it out just like they did last season.
Well, I'll disagree with one part of it. Yes, getting to the postseason is important, but fans will have a problem if they're an early out.
Oh, if they're early out, yeah.
No. Like, it's not just getting there anymore. The expectation is to win and to make a deep run in the postseason, especially after what they were able to accomplish last year. And the fact that they spent more money. Look, it's an unfortunate problem is the more hope you sell to your fan base, and especially if you're going to raise ticket prices, all of a sudden expectations come up too. So the expectation is for this team to be great right now. They're not. If they can finish the season strong, wonderful. If they get to the postseason and they romp through the postseason and win a championship, all is forgiven. But right now, with this win-loss stuff that we've seen over the past 2 weeks plus, I mean, it's really going to hamper the interest in this team. And I don't know if it's going to result in less sellouts. I think that
I don't think it will this year.
Yeah, but it could in the future.
Tickets are already paid for this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening. But what I'm saying is, in the future, like, if this is what you're promising, Padres, if you're going to be a team that's either hovering a little below or a little above 500 and limping into the playoffs every year, like, I don't think that's acceptable. This team was supposed to be an easy 90-plus win team. There's zero indication that that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
like, it was going to be a coast to 90.
Side note, the 913 texted in saying, Travis, how's the cat? The cat still in the hospital.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what?
Finley's still in the hospital?
Still in the hospital. Is looking to have a third surgery, which is now, look, I am not being paid by Animal Urgent Care up in Escondido. I have no affiliation other than I took my cat there on an emergency visit. Everyone there is so invested. They're like, yeah, we're just going to do whatever we can. to keep Finley alive.
So I think we get
This is
paid this Friday.
cataclysmic.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we get paid this Friday. Did you change your direct deposit just straight to the
The urgent care.
Yeah. I don't get paid at all.
Yeah,
They just pay them.
It just
Yeah,
dumps right into Finley.
Yeah.
right.
The Finley fund.
It's the Finley fund.
So I was talking to one of the doctors yesterday, and she's like, "Look, Finnegan is. Oh, I'm sorry, Finley." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "I gave him a pet name." Anyways, Finley is doing okay. I'm like, "What the heck is going on?"
You're going to have like aunts and uncles now of Finley who are going to be visiting the house.
Yeah, it's
How's she
incredible.
doing?
It's
Is
incredible.
it a he or is it a she?
It's a he.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
everybody out there, thoughts and prayers for Finley
that's exactly right.
as we continue on this journey.
All the good, positive vibes we can get.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the best coach in the NFL? Who's the coolest coach in the NFL? We'll fill you in coming up next. Coming up next, does swag win you championships? Well, if it did, the Miami Dolphins have already won the Super Bowl. We'll explain. So Mike McDaniel might be one of the coolest people or the coolest characters. I don't know how cool he is personally, but I love listening to him talk. Miami Dolphins head coach. I love the way he interacts with his players. I honestly hope that the person is as cool as like the persona.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Vapes on the sideline.
Yeah, it seems like he does. Seems like
Who knows if that's weed or the
seems
wacky
like the camera
tobacco or
caught
what.
him vaping.
From all player reports, like he is the perfect player's coach. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Debo loved him. I think Debo attributes a lot of his success to him. Tyreek Hill adores him. Talks about him all the time he talked about him on that Shannon Sharp podcast. And so I think that players really do genuinely love him. And I do think he's a brilliant offensive mind.
I just don't know if we should yell this out every time you make a good play.
I'm okay with it.
Today.
Can we play the sound, or were
like-
you able to bleep it, or
Give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
because I mean, yeah, he Cheetah, or I should say Tyreek Hill, has a podcast called the Cheetah Podcast where they were discussing, and talking about how he celebrates on the sideline. He just sounds like a player. Like that's the deal. Like when you have a coach who can sort of speak the same language of the team, it's endearing, it's connecting. And, we're just talking about the Padres. Look, Bob Melvin, if there's one thing that he will have to make sure he does with a younger roster, which he has, is try to connect with people who are half his age or less, less than half his age.
Yeah.
That's a really difficult thing to do. With Mike McDaniel, there are going to be players in certain cases who are older than him in the league that they're competing against or on his team. So it's a little bit easier for him to relate.
If I dub it into my system now, YouTube will hear the unedited version,
which is okay.
So I'll have no, because you guys won't hear it. It'll just interrupt both streams.
Okay.
So I could do it during commercial break, and then we can play it at the top.
Okay. All right. I mean, how do we even describe what is being said here?
Well, basically,
boom mother.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Every single good play.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, like he's the type of guy who's going to celebrate at practice as much as he will at a game. And I'm telling you, stuff like that it's important. It matters.
What was Bill Belichick's celebration like on the sideline?
Same one.
I'll tell you, it's a good point you bring up. There is something about Bill that is very like, that's dad. Let's not piss off dad. Mm-hmm. But do you know how good it feels when you make dad happy? Like that feeling you get when you really you hit a home run in your little league game and you could see him jumping and cheering from the sideline. You don't normally see him get outside himself like that. And it makes you feel that's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, because it almost to me feels like no reaction means you did it right. You did good.
Right.
But if there's a good reaction,
yeah,
you
win way over the top.
Surprise Bill in a positive manner.
Right.
That has to be the best feeling ever. Did you ever get that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, those were some of the best moments. Like when you're running off the field after punching in a touchdown at the goal line, and it's important. They're all important. He'll cheer and scream in your face and get excited. And you're just like, whoa. Well, Mike McDaniel, obviously a different personality than Bill Belichick. Boom, mother beeper.
Yeah. That's
like
gonna happen. And maybe I don't know. Maybe J-Riff's sideline will yell that. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Is he going to be joining us?
Why do you have no faith in me?
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Travis has zero faith.
I have so much
I heard
faith.
Rich go on the radio yesterday and be like, I haven't even thought about if Ben loses. He's not going to lose.
Yeah, I think about it. I
maybe J-Riff's sideline's going to be yelling, boom, mother.
I lay awake at night, Ben. I'm worried. I'm worried here.
Well, I'm not.
Is J-Riff joining us next hour?
Hope not.
He still hasn't texted us. So
Come on,
Jonathan Rifkin may or may not join us off the top next hour. We got to get to this Miami Heat Denver Nuggets game 3 tonight. Also, Sitcom Rodeo for Big Cheech's Chicken Sandwiches. That's all coming up next.
Hour number 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by calhope.org. Starting off here with drama in the world of golf. PGA Tour and Live Golf have merged leagues officially. Live Golf, funded by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, has been putting on their league since June 9th, 2022, just before their one-year anniversary. The two leagues have come together. This sent rifts across the world of the PGA Tour players. A lot of them not happy, having private closed-door meetings yesterday, even asking for a change in leadership at the top of the PGA Tour. Padres lose yesterday to the Mariners 4-1 as the inconsistent play continues. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Pods, 1:10 first pitch. NBA Finals Game 3 going down tonight in Miami. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Heat, Nuggets, Game 3, 5:30 tonight. Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources today. Call or text 833-317-4673 or live chat now at calhope.org.
Woo! It is a Wednesday, and a very happy Wednesday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and the inaugural, the first ever, the one and potentially only, although we hope not, Hardwood and Balls Classic coming up at 4 p.m. today during John and Jim right here on San Diego Sports 760. If you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube page, you need to.
9 hours away.
YouTube.com. Search Big Rich TD Fletch and go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we will be live streaming there. We'll also be live streaming from the San Diego Sports 760 Twitter account. You'll be able to see the Hardwood and Balls Classic, the one-on-one matchup between producer of the Darren Smith Show, Jonathan Rifkind, and Benjamin Fletcher.
Show him the trophy.
Oh, yeah. Let me turn it around.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it? Okay. Oh, actually, it's going to be a side view. Yeah. Yeah, actually. We should have it set up on a podium behind us.
Let me see where this camera's pointing right now. Pretty close.
Yeah.
There we go. Hang on one second.
The Hardwood and Balls Trophy, the work that you put into this, and it's sturdy. I mean, you're grabbing it by the circle that you have.
Oh, it's a beefy.
Look at this sucker. This is absolutely incredible. Look at this thing.
It's beefy. I mean, it's hardwood and balls.
I mean, you got the Coors Light. Mm-hmm. You got this big circular. The only, I guess you would call it like a golden wreath around the Coors.
Right.
And it smells of lacquer.
That's spray paint. Yeah, that's the Krylon.
That's fantastic. I love how you beveled the edges of the wood.
Very important. It's very, very important.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Set up on this.
Can we do that?
Yeah, it might show. Let's
Hang
see.
on. Oh yeah, you can see it there.
That's
We put the camera down just slightly.
This is so good. Ben,
Really
I'm
good.
so excited for you when this becomes your trophy for.
Yeah, and you get to drink in the ceremonial Coors Light here.
That's right. It may be warm, but that's fine.
Can we possibly bring a cold one?
Yeah, so I already thought about this. I'm going to take a bag of ice
Yeah.
and put one in a bag of ice and then put that in an ice chest. And just one.
Yeah. I think here's the trick. I do think we should bring a cooler with beers in it.
Can we
I don't
do
think
that?
we should tell anybody.
Yeah, we can't let anybody know.
Yeah.
Just give me one of those Gatorade squirt bottles and just fill it up with Coors Light.
Yes. I have one of those green. So
squirt ones.
So those things, they don't spill in backpacks. So my children exclusively use that for their water bottle at school.
Right.
So I will bring one in with Coors Light in it.
Here's the problem though, under pressure, because you're going to put carbon dioxide in it.
That's fine.
It's going to actually expel out the top.
Yeah, what it does,
Yeah.
I've done this before, not with Coors Light, but other carbonated beverages. It literally, the top will just eventually just spit at you.
Yeah.
Like it'll just, and then it'll
Kind
just
of like the Coco de Crema.
little fountain. Yeah. Oh my God. Do you remember the sound that made?
Yeah.
Do we still have that sound?
I do remember the sound.
Oh, it's so awful and intriguing at the same time.
Yeah, it's so perfect.
It's a very viscous, very liquidy, almost like end of the ketchup bottle sound that it made. But
Yeah.
more of a squirt, really.
Yeah, right. It
God,
was-
all these words are really disgusting. The
right.
describing words for the Coco de Crema.
Are you still?
Play that one more time.
I think we had some Hawaiian music going on in the
There was-
background because
yeah,
there was pina coladas.
Yes, yeah.
That's so disgusting.
It's almost like there's like a tone to it. Like it's almost a musical note that goes along with that music.
Like, by the way, when you get really close to Ben and he first starts perspiring, that's the sound it makes.
Same sound.
Armpit sweat.
I already got it going.
Dude, I just
God.
gagged. I'm not even kidding. That was
God.
like I feel it. God, stop.
Only sweats in spurts.
Can you imagine it was the same color too? It's like, why is it so creamy? Sticky.
That's the glaze from the donuts.
Let's cook it the Fletch.
Screened from his pores.
Fletch.
Oh God. Oh shoot! I was gonna record a chant to play.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
We're
too.
gonna get everybody involved here.
We don't need to record it. There's going to be salespeople there. Brian Long's going to be there. I think
Yeah.
he's bringing Sammy Long.
Yeah, how many people are gonna show up here?
It's close to the public, unfortunately, for
Right,
this year.
right.
But some of our sales staff is coming. New friend of Big Rich, TD and Fletch, is coming.
Oh yeah.
That we'll talk about more next week.
What?
And then Brian Long, Sammy Long, Shauna, maybe.
Okay,
Oh,
Shauna,
yeah.
program
The
director.
first thing she said was hell no. And then Brian said, I'll drive you. And she's like, okay.
What? That's all it took? Took an Uber?
Yeah,
That was the end?
She was like, I don't want to waste gas money. Oh, a ride?
Pretty
Oh,
sure
fine.
Kendall and Jenna are coming.
Oh, wow.
good.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Sarah will be there, but she has a meeting until 3. So
At San Diego State?
no. Yeah, she has a meeting until 3 at San Diego State.
Annie is watching her children.
She should bring them.
There's
Oh
a
my God.
rumor that certain football coach we all know and love may stop by.
Okay. I think I'm
Wow.
on to something there.
Wow.
All right.
Bill
um,
Belichick will be there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one.
Mike McDaniel
Mike McDaniel.
of the Miami Dolphins
Oh, he
going to
can-
show up.
Boom, mother.
So we do have the Hardwood and Balls Classic coming up later on today, but game 3 of the NBA Finals.
Who cares?
Miami is hosting Denver. Look, I didn't expect this to be a level series at this point. I figured it would be a 2-0 lead for the Nuggets, but here we are.
Mhm.
Possible for the Heat to take a lead here. What are we thinking?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm going to drop some knowledge on you.
Go ahead.
It doesn't get real until someone loses on the road. I've only heard that 5,000 times over the last 3 days.
Yeah.
But the statement is true, and Denver lost at home. And so Miami Heat now take over home court advantage as the 8 seed coming into these playoffs, speaking of devaluing regular seasons. And so at this point, Miami Heat has as good a shot at anyone, and I'm going to start calling them the Miami Heart because I do feel like that team has a lot of heart.
Wow. Who was speaking of devalued in regular season? Was
Me.
it because
About
of you have been devalued? Oh, thought maybe
Because
someone-
the Padres are going to be able to do this to Padres fans all year long and still eke into the playoffs.
I thought maybe you were alluding to someone was speaking poorly of you during the regular season and
no, dude,
devalued you.
I only play for championships, but I'm not a professional. I'm not making any money
That's
on
right.
this today.
You're the Tiger Woods of one-on-one basketball. I love
No,
this
dude,
guy.
Tiger competed in every event like it was his last.
Well, not as of late.
Not at, right, but
Well,
when he
maybe
was at his
still-
peak.
maybe still
Dude,
as
dude's
of
like
late.
50.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, because any of these tournaments could be his last, like
Very true.
But
legitimately.
he doesn't tie up the shoes unless he thinks he's going to win.
I completely agree with that. And that is the attitude I want you to carry into Hardwood and Balls Classic.
That's why I haven't practiced.
That's
I need stakes.
that's exactly right. That is our training philosophy to a
When
T.
was the last time you shot a basketball?
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Don't
like-
ask him questions like this,
No,
Travis.
no,
I'm
like
very
2 or
embarrassed.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, all right. See, yeah.
That's better than you
That
thought.
is
Yeah.
literally months sooner than I thought.
Yeah,
No, 2
yeah,
or
yeah.
3 weeks
That's
ago.
good. See, yeah.
When I
we're
felt
fine.
weeks
good,
ago.
guys, I'm telling you. I was like, oh,
Wait.
don't need to practice again.
Hold on. Was it at Dave and Buster's?
No, it was at LA Fitness,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
which is where I
Uh-huh.
partake in gym-like activities.
Was it a 1-week trial membership?
No, I have a membership, dude. I do spin classes every once in a while.
I do.
Like I've done one in the last month. They
You've done-
really hurt my
Wait,
tushy.
hold on. How many more spin classes have you ever done than the one you did a week ago?
In college, I actually did them kind of frequently.
Wait a second, though. Hang on.
In my adult life, I've done one. Not true. Because No, I did the virtual ones when I was rehabbing the knee. So I've done quite a few.
You are maybe my favorite person. You also may be the most delusional human being I met. It is.
I'm gonna be fine.
But that is a phenomenal attribute when it comes to signing up for events like that's going to go down today at 4:00.
You literally just said I take spin classes once in a while.
Once in a while. I took one like last week.
You took one once, and then a long while ago.
I was doing them consistently in college, and then when I almost tore my ACL, that's what Pro Football Doc Chow told me to do. He was like, "Yeah, just go ride the bike."
Yeah, and so I refused to listen to that advice until 2 weeks ago when I took a spin class.
I was doing it like every day when I was rehabbing the knee.
Dude, that's amazing. That is okay. Well, it doesn't matter to me. Honestly, all that matters to me is,
putting up that dub, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care how it
taking
goes.
home this beautiful trophy. That's all that matters, Ben. Okay. So at the end of the day, if you're the one carrying the Hardwood M Balls Classic trophy right there, right there.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful.
It really is. You did a great job with
that's like Watermaker Cup-esque.
That's what I was going for. That's what I was going for.
We wanted a drinkable trophy.
Yeah,
that was our only request on this show.
And so, I mean, I looked at a lot of places for a bowl. Okay, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. I was at the dollar store. I went to Party City. I could not find anything to drink out of that I could bolt to a block of wood somehow because I was trying to give it some height. You know what I'm saying? A bowl, just handing you a bowl wouldn't work. I had to give it a pedestal.
Let me give you 3 reasons why Ben is going to win the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
Okay. Concentration.
Okay.
Conditioning.
Cardio.
Coors Light.
Okay. 1, confidence. There's no question that he wins the confidence game.
Yeah.
If you talk to Jonathan Rifkin about this game, the truth is he is nervous. He does not want to get beat by Ben. And probably it's this. Ben wants to beat J-Riff, but J-Riff would be horrifyingly embarrassed to lose to Ben.
Yes.
And so, like, this confidence that Ben's exuding, it makes him nervous. I know it does.
Oh, yeah. Well, and okay, here's the other thing.
Yeah,
that I think you have a very, very, very huge advantage here is the confidence you have. The pressure is not touching you.
Yeah.
The pressure can crush J-Riff. Yeah, because
Yes.
now all of a sudden the pressure, it feels pretty thick today. Feels pretty heavy. Yeah. I mean, that is, if he can get around that mentally, he'll be in the game.
And that's the second thing. If this starts going sideways for J-Riff early, I think that mentally, if it goes sideways for Ben, I think it'll be less flappable, so to speak. A little bit more unflappable than J-Riff.
Yep.
I think that if, for example, Ben gets up, like, say, a 3-0 lead early in the game,
Oh, he's toast.
I think we could really see J-Riff crumble. So pressure, 100%. Confidence goes to Ben. That's first reason. Pressure on J-Riff, the second reason. The third, honestly, and this is going to sound ridiculous, I think there may have been a little too much training. If you ask Jonathan Rifkin how much he's played basketball since this was announced, it's a lot.
It is a lot. He's also put on like 50 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, the
Maybe
dude's
like
yoked.
4.
Dude's
Yeah.
I mean, he's on gear, I think.
Yeah, right. I think he was 5'9" when we started, and now he's 6'3".
Yeah.
So I don't know how that happened.
Is maybe like 5'7".
Look, I'm just saying. The thing is with J-Riff, though, where I get a little concerned is if he can stretch this thing out and make this thing go 12 rounds deep into the rounds, Ben, you're going to suffer here.
Yeah, landing body blows.
Yeah.
I know that you both think like the cardio is going to be such a big issue. First of all, we're playing on a half court.
Yeah, but you ran 12 to 15 yards in the parking lot. There was a lot of sweat.
No adrenaline.
There was a lot of heavy breathing.
Guys, nature takes over. Like, don't worry about it. Like, a
Nature
competition
takes
will
over.
take over. There's a fire that burns inside my soul that I will not lose today.
Wow.
I don't know why
like
you're
it.
worried.
I love it because I want the win. I want to bring home the win.
And have you never run while you're out of breath? I've lived my whole life running while I'm out of breath. Like,
I
I'll be
have
fine.
only run while I'm out of breath.
Yeah,
that's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
a
Like, you
very
could-
short distance.
It's like
Keep
a
kicking it
show
into an
motto
next
here. Yeah.
Travis, you're forgetting that I'm an athlete.
That's right.
You've taken a spin class.
And number 4 reason why Ben's gonna win, because he's an athlete. No, but truly, I do give Ben an edge in a lot of different categories. Cardio is not one of them, Ben.
Oh no, me neither. But I'm saying that's not going to factor in. It's not going to be an issue. I really believe that will not be an issue. Will I fall over after this is all over and probably take a nap right there on the sideline after I'm done celebrating? Yes.
Yeah.
I also will say the most energy I will expend the entire time will be the celebration, because I will be running around without a shirt, probably doing cartwheels, maybe a backflip in there. I don't know. Like, we'll see.
A backflip.
Potentially. Wow. We'll see how crazy it gets.
The collective decision that both you and J-Riff were involved in yesterday to say, hey, instead of making this a game to 21, we make it 3 games of 7. That is a huge advantage, Ben Fletcher. That is a huge advantage.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm very shocked.
He brought it up.
I'm shocked that he wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
He brought it up. And you know why he brought it up? He said, because if it's a game to 21, we'll both be exhausted by the end of it.
Wow.
And I was like,
see, this is what I'm talking about.
I wasn't really worried about a game to 21.
Yeah, that little piece of confidence. I mean, you see the crack in the armor right there.
I'm telling you, Jonathan Rifkin is nervous about this. So again,
he's probably nervous pooping right now. That's why I didn't answer your text.
This guy hasn't had a solid poop in like days. There's no doubt in my mind.
All of mine have been solid. Like,
there you go, folks.
And that's reason number 5. Ben is going to win this game.
Mark the tape.
Yep. Just solid dumps. And he sprays. The Miami Heat. I'll give you 3 reasons why the Heat can beat the Nuggets.
I'll give you reason number 1 right now.
What's that?
You know, 1 out of every 100 people that live in the city of Miami has an OnlyFans account.
You know what? Okay.
I don't know if that's related. Is that true?
We did the math on this. Okay. So what's the stat?
1.1 thousand out of every 100,000 people that live in the town of Miami.
So
have an OnlyFans.
100,000 people divided by 1,100.
Yeah,
that's actually just under 91 people.
Wow.
So 1 out of every 91 people in Miami have an OnlyFans. What?
Per Barstool Sports. I did not come up with this stat.
This is shocking. This is shocking news.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is from the Miami New Times.
Right.
Okay, check this out. A recent survey suggests that they could be among thousands of Miamians raking in cash on OnlyFans. According to the study, Miami has the most OnlyFans creators per capita of any large city in the nation, with 1,110 accounts per 100,000 residents. Las Vegas, by the way, came in second place with 670 OnlyFans creators per capita, and no other cities are even close.
Totally unrelated. Apple Vision Pro is set to release in Miami early.
Oh, yeah, that does not shock me in the least bit.
Is it for real?
No, but doesn't that coincides with our conversation yesterday?
Yeah, yeah, no.
All right, so we have the strip club capital in the world, which is Tampa. We have the country music capital in the world, which is Nashville. We have the pizza capital of the world, which is New York City. Now we have the OnlyFans capital of the world, Miami, Florida.
Florida taking 2 trophies here in that list. Tampa and Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them in the same vein.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to a Tampa strip club?
No.
I've never been to Tampa.
We went to the Outback Bowl in 2007.
No wonder Tom Brady wanted to be there.
No. Well, yeah, maybe that's true. I mean, especially since, that's when things went on the rock with Giselle. Anyways, I'll give you 3 reasons the Heat are going to win this series.
OnlyFans
is one of them. 3-point shooting. So if you go back and look through the series against the Celtics, the series against the Knicks, the series against the Hawks, I mean, they've overwhelmed their opponents with 3-point series by percentage. Like, they are just raining down threes. They've been white hot through I think they were the leaders in the 21-22 regular season, but also they did it again in the postseason here. So that's a big reason.
That was the reason they lost game 1. They were ice cold.
They were ice cold from 3. That's exactly right. But yeah, let me look at the percentages. I found them earlier today. They shot 45% against the Bucks. The Bucks shot 37%. They shot in the semifinals 30% against the Knicks. Knicks 29%, so that was closer. But in the conference finals, 43% versus the Celtics 30%.
Wow.
So not only are they shooting well from 3, but they're also defending well from 3.
And in game 1, remember, the Heat shot 2 free throws. The Nuggets shot 20 something. And in game 2, that evened up.
20-2.
Game 2, it evened up.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, are you saying that this is the reason they're going to win the series or tonight's game on the 3-point shooting, Rich?
I think it's for the series.
For the series.
Yeah.
For the
I'm
series.
getting a feeling, boys, like, I don't want to overstate it, but I'll say this right now. I think the Heat win this series. I think the Heat are going to be NBA Finals champs.
I think part of that, where I could see that happening, is the same reason that you're giving Ben the edge here in the Hardwood and Balls Classic is, the heart, the confidence that they have of, we're not going to lose this thing. I don't care. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what the analytics are. I don't care what the percentage is. We're going to go out here and win this thing.
2 series in a row, they've been heavy underdogs. No one told them that. They went out and, like, really for the first 3 games of that series, absolutely stomped and crushed whatever Boston wanted to do. And then, they let them back in, whatever. Old news. They won game 7. This one, Denver was heavily favored coming into the series, but I think everyone forgot to tell the Heat that, because I just look at that team and the way they play and the way they talk about themselves is this utmost confidence and the I don't give an F attitude that I absolutely love when it comes to sports. And that's what I try to embody.
Well, I got to tell you, going into this series, I thought Denver was just going to roll through the Heat.
A lot of people did.
And game 1, the feeling continued. Game 2, they changed my mind. I mean, they changed my mind, and it was the same thoughts that you're having, Rich.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, wait a minute here. If they light it up on the outside, then they're going to be hard to beat.
Reason number 2, Jimmy Butler's playoff, like the idea of playoff Jimmy is a real thing. Like, so this year, his averages are insane, and he hasn't played his best basketball in the finals yet. He's been kind of subdued the past 2 games.
What, 13 and 21 through the first 2 games?
Yeah. 13 in game 1, 21 in game 2. But he's averaging almost 29 points, 7 rebounds, almost 6 assists, and 2 steals per game.
And he is stupid good in Miami.
And then his percentages are all way up from the regular season. 48 from the floor, 35 from 3, 80% from the foul line. The last reason is Eric Spoelstra. Now, I put this in last place because I don't think coaching is as important as everybody makes it out to be in the NBA. But the Heat, they've done some things defensively that have really shut down some opponents. And if you take a look at the Celtics series, that game 7 you were just talking about, the reason why they won is because they stepped up on defense. It was something, here's a stat. So the Celtics ran 58 pick and rolls. Like, they were picking and rolling the Heat to death. They switched 40 of them. They were able to make sure that defensively, both sides of the pick and roll were covered throughout game 7. It was a big reason why the Heat won pretty handily in that game on Boston's home floor. And so we're talking about this series now, even heading to Miami, the OnlyFans capital of the world. I like the Heat, boys.
Dang.
I like the way you put that.
Numbers are up too. 11-5 for the first game, 11-9 for the second.
Yeah, the ratings that they said, these ratings are going to be terrible in these finals. No one's going to care about them. They're blowing up.
I mean, that's like half as much as like a regular season game between the Jags and the Browns would get, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be more of an Indianapolis Colts Denver Broncos Thursday nighter.
I thought it would still get like 25 million people.
And 6 of them were us for what felt like 7 to 9 hours.
That was a long sit.
Yeah.
All right. We need some contestants here. 844-570-1360. The number again to call, 844-570-1360. We've got a big old gift certificate to take out to Big Cheech's Chicken Waffles and Sliders. If you want to win that, coming up next, 844-570-1360. We're playing Sitcom Rodeo next.
Big Cheeches chicken waffles and sliders, where fast meets flavor. We got a gift card for you coming up with Sitcom Rodeo next.
This update is presented by Mercedes-Benz. We'll begin here with the Padres, who have another disappointing one yesterday. They lose to the Mariners 4-1. The inconsistent play just keeps being very consistent. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Walker going to be on the mound for the Pods. 1:10 first pitch before the day off tomorrow. Drama in the world of golf. PGA Tour, Live Golf. They have merged leagues. Live Golf, who's funded by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, has been putting on their league since June 9th, 2022, just before their one-year anniversary. The two leagues have come together. Players are pissed. NBA Finals Game 3 going down tonight in Miami. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Heat, Nuggets, Game 3, 5:30 tonight. And at 4 o'clock, the Hardwood and Balls Classic, the moment you've all been waiting for. Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one today at your local dealer.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760 on a Hardwood and Balls Classic Wednesday. That'll be happening today at 4 p.m. live during the John and Jim show. It's also going to be live streamed on our YouTube channel, as well as on the San Diego Sports 760 Twitter page. Rich just came back in after taking a lap with the Hardwood and Balls Classic trophy.
People want to see.
Yeah,
people want to see big time.
People are interested in the trophy.
I took this thing for, I mean, I don't know how many I think 4 studios I just hit. People are amazed, first of all, by your craftsmanship.
Okay, great.
And second of all, they were like, how did Travis find a perfect platform to display the beer in the middle of this? I said, well, that's candle holder. And then one of the people I showed to goes, does Mrs. Dale know that she's missing a candle? I was like, please don't tell her.
Yeah, don't talk about it on air.
Yeah, don't tell her.
Yeah, it's that time. A little rodeo time, actually, because we got some Big Cheeches chicken waffles and sliders gift cards we're giving away here. We're going to play a little sitcom rodeo to do so. We have a contestant on the line. That contestant is Scott. Yeah, good morning, Scott.
Hey, welcome to the show, buddy. Yeah, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous about tonight's big game, so I'm hoping to do a little stress eating at Cheese's Chicken.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Now, when you say tonight, you mean this afternoon, 4 p.m., Hardwood and Ball Classic?
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we were making sure that it wasn't Nuggets Heat.
Yeah.
I actually am a big Heat fan. I am from South Florida, but I do not have an OnlyFans account.
Okay. Wow. Well,
let's change that today.
Yeah, we could change that today. Also, if we gather 90 more people, one of you will have one.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Per capita, most OnlyFans accounts in the good old U.S. All right, Scott, the rules are pretty simple. We're going to play you at least 8 seconds of a television show theme.
Right.
And you just need to tell us the name of that show. You get the best of 5. You win the Big Cheech's chicken waffles and sliders gift card, and we send you on your way happily. You got it, Scott?
I got it. Let's do it.
All right. Here's clip number 1.
Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door.
Take a step that is new. Take a step that is new. Where the kisses
Where the
are.
pleasure is his and hers and his. Three's company.
Company.
Yes! Wow! Yeah! That's how Scott does it. That's how Scott does it. Three's Company, indeed. That is a groovy little snappy tune.
Tell you what, I forgot the way it started. I mean, an incredible opening riff. I mean, not wasted. It's a jingle we'll remember forever. But
what's the name of the older dude in that show that always gets freaked out?
You're talking about the landlord,
the neighbor. Yeah. What is happening? There's 2 women and a man living together. I forget.
Oh, geez.
Don. What? No,
that was because it was Barney Fife.
Barney Fife.
No, but that was from Andy Griffith's show. Same guy.
Oh yeah.
Hang on,
that wasn't his.
Scott, do you know?
Mr. Roper.
Yes! Mr. Roper. Scott's a huge Three's Company fan.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Can you imagine?
That Blondie was a hottie too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think she's still alive, right? She's still a hottie.
Yeah.
No idea.
She's got to be like Martha Stewart's age, which, by the way, is a yes. Moving right along.
Yeah, here. Clip number 2 is here for you, Scott. Yeah, that one's going to be a toughie, I feel like. I feel like that one's a toughie.
That's easy.
Not for everyone.
Easy for you.
Not for everyone.
Scott, do you know what that theme song is?
Oh, man, I don't have any idea. If Ben likes it, I'm going to go with the Wiggles.
Solid jab. No, that's Parks and Rec.
The Wiggles. Teletubbies.
Salad. Yummy. That was Parks and Rec. Yeah, Parks and Rec. That was a newer sitcom.
Well, Scott sits at 1-1. All
fine.
right. So the game is even. We have 3 more clips to play. I mean, we're back to where we started. Best of 3 here, Scott. Here's clip number 3. Thwack, pow, wham. There's a lot of onomatopoeia in that open.
That's right.
We got to ask you, Scott, what TV show is that theme from?
Batman?
Nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah, Rich just hold that one up on a silver platter.
My text line lighting up here on my phone saying, Mr. Furley, it's Mr. Furley. Don Knotts, Mr. Furley. We got
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts is his name.
Brian Wilson, my cousin Josh. He's listening in. Welcome to the show, Josh.
I just love the way. Well, how many people are living over here?
That's right.
It's almost a little Jimmy Stewart there. All right, Scott. You're up 2-1 now.
Yeah.
got
to get 1 out of the next 2.
The hay is nearly in the barn.
Yep, that's correct. So here you go. Next clip.
Oh man,
Ben tells us in our ear, no way I'm getting this one. That also sounded like it could have been the soundtrack for Lethal Weapon.
No way I'm getting it. I don't know about Scott. He probably is going to know it.
This was a huge sitcom.
Huge.
Yeah.
That will also be the background music for my OnlyFans account. If I ever launch one.
Bigger TD and Fletch. Scott, do you know what that theme song is from?
That is Roseanne Barr.
Congrats, buddy. You just won yourself a gift card to Big Cheech's Chicken Waffle and Sliders, mouth-watering meals made from quality ingredients and lightning fast service. Big Cheech's on Carroll Canyon Road or online at bigcheecheschicken.com or via Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. But you, sir, you are going on, well, I was going to say us, but it's really on Big Cheech.
Scott, how you feeling about the win?
Man, I got a pack of Now-Laters on my dashboard, and I just won Cheech's chicken. I'm feeling a little fat, but I'm stoked.
Smart. The now and laters, that's good. It keeps your energy up while driving. Scott, enjoy that. Hang on the line. Ben's going to take down your information. Big win for Scott. That's crazy that Roseanne, the theme, didn't immediately
he didn't
resonate with you. I grew up.
I don't think I've ever seen
Roseanne.
an episode.
I'm pretty sure I was raised by John Goodman.
And Roseanne.
Yeah.
With that couch.
No, the couch.
You've only got a mustache.
We should get more winners music instead of just the mustache one.
It's a good song. It's a
Do you
good song.
want to take something that's perfect and murder it?
No, I'm just saying, like
mustaches,
we could have more.
You know, one of
winning
those
teams.
ads at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Look at the mustache on this guy.
Wait, is that the guy from Yellowstone?
Maybe it is.
Let me
Look,
see.
no, different guy. That's
You're thinking of Sam Elliott.
You're thinking of Sam Elliott, different guy.
Wait,
Look at that.
wait, Sam
prominent
Elliott is
maybe
the
I
guy
could
in
show-
Yellowstone?
He's in one of the spinoffs. No, I know who you mean. You mean the older gentleman who
that
like
gets
kind
in
of runs the
fights.
barn.
Yeah,
What's his name?
I don't know. He gets in fights a lot.
That might be him. Looks like.
Damn, that is a beautiful.
That is Seidler's headed there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got because it's like
We haven't seen Peter in a while. Trent Grisham shaved his stash.
I know. I saw that.
a dumb move.
Sometimes you need to change things to get off the schneid.
What do they call that? A slump? Something? I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that was a bad move.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
God,
saying.
what could have been?
Tell you what, that mustache. I mean, it was thick. It was impressive. It was. I mean, it looked like he could have hid small woodland creatures in it.
There may have been a small woodland creature living in it.
Really incredible. But yeah, Peter Seidler's going strong. Last I've seen, he still has a big, bushy, beautiful mustache that really does. It's like almost like a St. Louis arch. Like it goes up to the jowls.
It goes out to the
seen him in a
chops.
while though.
Doesn't he have an Instagram account that he posts to every once in a while?
Is it? Maybe he's got an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, is he? Yeah. They were just in Miami. They played the Marlins down there.
Stash.
Seidler Stash at onlyfans.com/Seidler Stash.
Only issue with that was the Marlins were here.
No. They were in Miami for the Marlins series.
Oh yeah, the Chicago.
What
was
the
here.
hell
Sorry.
are you talking
Sorry,
about? Ben?
sorry.
What are you talking about? You know what? Because his
Got
mind,
Chicago and Miami mixed up. Sorry.
his mind.
So easy to do.
You want to fight?
You do this constantly.
His mind is clearly on the HBC.
Yeah, the Hardwood and Balls Classic, which is coming up today during John and Jim. Tip off at 4 p.m. We have the trophy seated behind us. If you want to log into YouTube right now, just go to YouTube, type in Big Rich TD Fletch. You'll find our page. Subscribe. You're going to need to, because the Hardwood and Balls Classic is going to be on display, live streaming, tip off at 4. And we'll also have it simulcasted on San Diego Sports 760, the Twitter account. It's incredible.
And you're going to want to make sure you're there for that 3 o'clock hour, because we've got special guests. We've got a weigh-in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to happen in that first hour.
Yeah. Speaking of losing weight, right? Because I'm sure Trent Grisham lost about 4 or 5 pounds when he shaved that big, beautiful, bushy mustache off his face.
Without a doubt.
I mean, that's an easy way to drop some pounds. Are you nervous about the weigh-in really quick?
I really don't care, but I'm a little curious why we're doing it.
Well,
It's not a boxing match.
No.
Mhm.
Well, it's
Like, it
sort of
just
is,
doesn't-
though, because part of the advantage, in my personal opinion, is your ability to push him around the court.
Yeah, this actually
So,
may lend
I mean,
to the confidence.
I understand that, but I've never once seen a basketball game where there is a weigh-in.
Well,
Right.
this is different. This is the HBC.
Yeah, it's very different.
I mean,
type
this
of
is
basketball
why
tournament.
it's so prestigious.
Just a little confusing, I guess I would say.
Sounds like he's nervous to get on the
Yeah,
scale.
right.
right.
We don't want to get on the scale.
No, it's going to be tipping 250. I'm fine with that. But it's what I'm saying is I just don't understand why it's
Can
happening.
we get one of the doctor scales with the weights?
If
When
someone
when
could
it's
give me
always
a
like, you're
legitimate
like,
reason why we're doing it, then I'll jump on.
If you don't want to do the weigh-in, we don't got to do the weigh-in.
Yeah,
You're very sensitive about the weigh-in.
Well, and I mean,
I'll get on the scale first if you want me
I'm
to.
sure J-Riff will get on the scale, and
We
then
can do the
under
scale.
your stats, it's just going to say
Just
an A.
someone give me the reason why we're doing it, and then I'll jump on. Like,
it's mainly just for the
TBD.
pictures. Yeah.
so the picture of me and him going like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
why are we doing that? Like,
Well,
if it's
because you're gonna
basketball, you
fight
should get
each
like a
other.
picture
Okay,
of us
alright.
like doing stuff on the basketball.
I'm confused of why you're so
We'll get rid of the
adamantly
weigh-
against this.
We'll get rid of the weigh-in.
I just
We
if
can't
it's
get rid of the weigh-in.
if it's a basketball game,
Okay.
it doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense, and we still do it.
Nothing about what we're doing today makes sense.
Right. The weigh-in is
That ship has sailed.
This is so important.
We are so far from port. Like, if port is sense, we're in international waters.
You don't think that the betting lines want to know the weight here of the players?
Great point.
And also,
What betting lines?
do we need to measure height?
Oh yeah, we should measure height too.
So we have a height and weight breakdown.
And then reach.
Yeah, because that
Oh.
minus 7,000 for JRIF, it may shift.
It may shift in your favor.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right.
This is my favorite thing in the world. This is
What are
so
you concentrating on right now?
yeah.
I'm trying to get our guy Scott his stuff so he doesn't have to hang out on hold forever.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, you're busy.
Yeah, you
you're
do
very
that. You
busy.
do that.
We
You
understand.
do
Okay. Coming up next, an NFL player who lost 100 pounds. It's unbelievable how he did it. You'll find out how next. All right, coming up next, how to lose 100 pounds in 40 days. We'll explain. That's the voice of Darren Smith. His producer, Jonathan Rifkin, challenged Ben, or Ben challenged him. I can't remember. It goes all the way back to March.
Oh, I feel like J-Riff challenged the world with a Twitter video.
Yeah. He shot a 3-point shot.
Yeah, I mean, a magnificent, perfect 3-point shot, and then turned around and gave you one of these. Like,
yeah, take it right there, right to the groin. Kind of hip thrusted toward the camera with his tongue out. And then Ben saw that and he was like, oh, that's adorable. J-Riff plays basketball. I bet he sucks. And that's where the war of words began.
I think that's a direct quote.
Yeah.
He goes, High School Musical probably took like 87 3-point shots before he made one.
No.
And of course, he posts the one that he
The first time I said High School Musical was on the 999.
Okay.
He walked in, and I was like, look at little High School Musical coming in to play with the big boys.
God, the 999. That was our first ever live streaming event.
That was a dumb idea.
And we left that not our office so trashed. Do you remember? It looked like
Motley
Crue was there.
Cleaning up.
Yeah, it took us a while.
Rich put on the Ghostbusters backpack.
We actually didn't leave the. You did. We actually didn't leave the office. We sat there for hours.
We left at 5. Yeah. We were here from the 999
at 12:30.
I napped for a long time. Wow. 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings. Our first ever live streaming event on YouTube. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Subscribe there. If you're listening to the show today, go to Big Rich, TD, Fletch on YouTube. Subscribe there because our next live streaming event is going to be the Hardwood and Balls Classic. Now, we live stream the show every day now. So you can see our show every single day. But this is a true event. Like, luminaries from across San Diego are going to be there. It's on the campus at San Diego State, the Jam Center. And Ben made this face like luminaries. Like JD Wicker's going to be there.
Is the mayor going to be there?
JD Wicker's not going to be there for the game, though.
We should invite the mayor.
Old Todd.
Toddy Gloria. We just don't want him to root for our side. Otherwise, we will lose.
Here's the thing. Every time we've had Todd on
that
before a important San Diego sporting event, our team loses.
Well, yeah, but if he comes in like a J-Riff jersey.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. We'll get another one made. Yeah. Which, by the way, the jerseys that we had made for this event are epic.
Those are on Twitter at Big Rich TD Fletch.
Oh my God.
There's so many great.
I debated
things.
wearing it to the show today, and then I was like, that's something J-Riff would do. And I promise you,
he's the way you're talking right now.
He's gonna be wearing his to the show today.
Really? Do you think he'll wear anything else, or just put a belt around it?
Yeah, we also made sure to get his like extra large. And J-Riff looks like he wears like a child small.
His is large.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we got him the right size. All right. Let me see really quick. Damn.
What? Oh, you're looking for J-Riff?
Yeah, J-Riff hasn't texted us yet.
How is he still asleep?
I don't know. Well, I mean,
ignoring us.
Yeah, that's possible.
Should we just call him?
No.
You mean he's dead? That would be the worst thing ever. Who's going to stand in for him if he's dead?
He's choking.
Oh, got it.
Oh. Yeah, if he dies.
Yeah.
And this doesn't happen.
Yeah. Hey, so old Russ lost 100 pounds?
Oh, Russell Kuhn, yeah.
I've met Russ one time. He was not down 100 pounds last time I saw him.
No, he was
in Miami at the Super Bowl.
Up over 330 pounds as an offensive lineman in the NFL. And he put out this long Twitter post about how he fasted for 40 days and was able to lose 100 pounds.
There's
the
no
40-day
way.
fast. Oof. So what is that?
40 days.
Literally just water?
Water.
For 40 days.
That's it. Water.
You would
no idea how that's
just,
possible.
After day 3, you would just sleep.
Isn't that's from the Bible, isn't it? Like Jesus did that?
I think that was the flood.
Yeah.
40 days.
I think there's a 40-day fast.
Noah.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of Lent.
Yeah. There's a 40-day fast. Okay. I mean, he's looking it up frantically on Google.
But yeah, I mean,
no, turns out it was Noah and an ark.
After being baptized by John the Baptist, Jesus was tempted by the devil after 40 days and 40 nights of fasting in the Judean desert.
Oh, so that's why we do Lent.
Or
that's why people do Lent.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at that, Ben.
Look at
Normally,
that is like 2 days this week. You have had a correct stat.
normally it is not the case. This is, I mean, maybe things are turning up Ben right now.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Wow, he just dropped a pin.
Yeah, mic drop.
Unbelievable.
Only water for 40 days. Can you do it? Is it possible? Could
Hell
you
no.
do it?
No
God,
way.
no.
I don't know if I could do it for 40 minutes.
I feel like the hardest would be, I'm not going to do this, by the way. There is no chance. There is no chance. But I feel like the hardest part would be the first couple days, and then you'd be sailing.
Well, because you're going to have hunger pains. You got to get through some mental stuff. But yeah, I would say you probably need 3 days. You got to get past 3 days.
I've done the intermittent fasting thing. Like right before the wedding, I did this.
Yeah.
You know, where you stop eating at like 5 o'clock at night and you don't start till noon the next day. That sucks.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
like the worst.
I agree. And I did some fasting stuff where I did lose quite a bit of weight. But what happened after a few months of it was like I could fast for 24 hours. And then the second day, I was just down on Little Caesars pizzas trying to catch up. Couldn't help it, man. I couldn't stop it. Couldn't get it out of my head.
The take and bakes or like the $5 ready to go
$5. Yeah, I mean they're ready to go. It's a full pizza.
You can eat it in the car.
You can order it on an app, and then you walk in and you get it out of a machine.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's like a vending machine.
My God.
It gives you the code on the app, and you walk in and boop, boop, beep. Door opens automatically, and you're handed a pizza.
That is amazing.
It is.
Is it a real quick, Little Caesars or 7-Eleven pizza? What's better?
Ooh.
7-Eleven for the shock value because you're expecting it to be terrible, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Little Caesars, I do love Little Caesars pizza.
Tell you right now, right after the show, I'm getting you a 7-Eleven pizza.
You want me to eat that pre
I
$9.99?
think that's what we do.
What are we doing today? Hardwood and balls.
Hardwood balls classic.
Why would we deviate from training on the day?
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
I'm gonna get you some donuts too. Yeah. No big deal. All right, we're doing that. Coming up next, Peter Costas, longtime golf analyst, to talk about the PGA Live Golf merger. Also, Kevin Acee, our best friend, Padres insider. Talk a little Padres coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Hour 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Mercedes-Benz. We're going to start off here with drama in the world of golf. PGA Tour, Live Golf have officially merged leagues. Peter Costas going to be joining the show in just a second to talk about that. Padres lose yesterday to the Mariners 4-1 as the inconsistent play continues. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Walker going to be on the mound for the Pods. NBA Finals Game 3 going down tonight in Miami. The series tied at 1 game apiece. Heat Nuggets Game 3 at 5:30 tonight. Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one today at your local dealer.
Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Hump Day is upon us. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you this morning, and we have a doozy for everybody out there today. So it is the Hardwood and Balls Classic coming up at 4 p.m. today. Tip-off is going to be during John and Jim. We're going to stream live on YouTube. YouTube, just search Big Rich, TD, Fletch, subscribe. I promise you're going to want to see this. We're going to have a weigh-in at 3, although right now contested. Ben Fletcher may or may not want to get on the scale.
Don't understand
Just doesn't
that.
make sense.
Fine.
We're going to have a face-off between he and Jonathan Rifkind. We're going to have interviews with the athletic director at San Diego State. John David Wicker going to be joining John and Jim in the 3 o'clock hour. Dave Velasquez is going to jump on the show. There'll be other special guests, but most importantly, we're going to see if Fletch can beat J-Riff. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Joining us right now, though, as we step aside from the Hardwood and Balls Classic to talk golf, Peter Costas. And we were talking about this earlier in the show, Peter. By the way, Peter, longtime golf analyst, one of the greats in the game. Costas and McCord on YouTube, the fastest growing golf YouTube channel out there. Peter, we were talking about this merger between Live Golf and the PGA, and you've been involved in golf virtually your entire adult life. We have our opinions. We're really curious what yours are. So at first blush, what do you think of this merger?
Well, at first blush, I am on day 3 of a fast, and I've been listening to you guys talk about Little Caesars Pizza. So that's first blush. I want to really thank you guys for that.
You're welcome, Peter.
But on a serious note, I am both happy and royally pissed off because it didn't have to be this way. You know, Liv came along. They clearly were a present danger to the PGA Tour. They were a new business that was going to challenge them, and instead of reacting from a business standpoint, from a golf standpoint, from a competition standpoint, Jay Monahan elected to go the moral route that he invoked because of his crisis management team, 9/11, and that tragedy. And once you make an argument about morality, it's moral versus immoral. It's good versus evil. It's really divisive, and it created a lot of hatred. He made it personal with players. They really got hammered for what decisions they made, and I think that the original sin was Jay Monahan making this about morals and not making it about the competition itself, right? So now I think both sides have decided that they really don't want to go into discovery. Lawsuits are expensive. They drag out. It wasn't going to be good for anybody. So now he's had to do a complete 180 on the moral issue. And you know, 3 weeks ago, he banned Raytheon from being a sponsor of the Byron Nelson tournament. And now we're in bed with the Saudis again. So, it's really been perplexing to me. And I think that, quite frankly, any CEO that had done this for any major corporation, I think the board of directors would have let him go right away.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And that's why I'm kind of looking at this going, is there a way Jay Monahan can spin this ever in the future where he's looked at as a a good leader again.
Well, he can spin it. He can spin it with the best of them, right? I mean, there's a lot of sidestepping going on right now. I don't know. I've said for a long time, once this became such a chasm in the world of golf, and people had taken the moral high ground, the journalists were sucked in because of the murder of Khashoggi. All of a sudden, human rights became an issue when it wasn't in China and it's not in any place else. I mean, the hypocrisy is just mind-boggling. But I've said that Norman, Kelly, and Monahan had to go if this was ever going to get resolved. And how that happens, I don't know. That's way above my pay grade. But this has to change. It's going to take a long time for players to, and I'm not even sure Monahan can regain the players' trust after what he did.
Costas and McCord on YouTube. You guys are going to have some great stuff on this. I know. I believe you're recording a new episode today. But, Peter, if you can, try to get into the head of one of the PGA Tour players that stuck with the PGA Tour. We heard from Rory. We heard from John Rahm defending the PGA Tour and talking about this is where legacies are built. Why would I go chase the money to somewhere I'm not going to be able to build as great of a legacy? What are they thinking today, or more specifically yesterday, when they got as much blindsided about all this as we all did?
Yeah, no, that's a huge problem. I mean, one of the funniest things I saw on Twitter was Hideki Matsuyama. There was a picture of him online flying Spirit Airlines back home from the Memorial Tournament, and somebody posted, had he gone to live, he could have bought Spirit Airlines. And there's a lot of players that turned down a lot of significant money. I mean, life-altering money for generations in your family because they bought the moral argument that the tour was selling. And now all of a sudden that evaporates. And I don't know how you make those players whole. I don't know what this final entity is going to look like when it shakes out. But one would think there has to be some sort of compensation, especially for those big name players who turned down a lot of cash to support Jay Monahan. Now he turns right around and they find out on Twitter or an early morning phone call yesterday that we've reversed course.
Yeah, this is a wild ride so far. By the way, again, Costas and McCord on YouTube. Subscribe now. Great stuff on this Live PGA merger coming up, but also just the stories you guys tell. They're awesome. You know, golf has a storied past, and golfers as individual players, there's a great meritocracy that occurs at these tournaments. You know, everybody's competing against each other. It's you competing against the course. However, every once in a while, and this happens in all sports, there comes a unifying point where, you know, together in the NFL it occurred. In Major League Baseball forever ago it happened, where the players unionized because they felt like they were being treated unfairly. Do you think we've reached that tipping point? Because we heard of the player-only meeting last night where there was a lot of people who are talking about changes needed to come at the top of the PGA. Do you think it's possible that a golf union emerges from all of this news about the new Live Golf PGA merger?
Yeah, this could most definitely be a Curt Flood moment for the PGA Tour, where the game has changed, and hopefully for the better. Obviously, we all want that. But we have to get rid of the anger. I mean, we got enough of it in our politics and listening to it on a daily basis. I don't need this in the sport that I love, in the sport that gave me what I have in my life. I want some harmony. I want some kumbaya, if that's possible. I don't know. But the players are really angry, and justifiably so. How can he stand there and say it's the players' tour? We work for you, the players, when they find out about this on Twitter? I mean, seriously, you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth and expect people to take you seriously.
Yeah, without a doubt. But have you heard from any of the Live players at all? I mean, is there any reason they would be upset with this?
Well, one of my students is Paul Casey, and he was blindsided by this. I mean, absolutely nobody knew anything about this outside of about maybe 4, 5, 6 people, 7 maybe at the most. And then all of a sudden, I think maybe something had leaked out, and they were afraid of people getting a notice of this before they were ready to tell. So it kind of seemed a little hasty the way they brought it out yesterday, trying to beat the release, so to speak. But he didn't know anything about it, and they don't know. I mean, we don't know if Live continues as it is. We don't know if it gets morphed into the big umbrella that they're creating right now, and Live goes away. We don't know any of those details, and so I think that we have to sit back and have a collective deep breath and see how this evolves from this point forward. But I got to tell you, it doesn't look good for Norman. It doesn't look good for Monahan. It doesn't look good for Pelly.
Peter, and I know this is all going to be a lot of hypotheticals, but if you have your best guess, like what does this change about the way golf is played right now? Because we talked about this yesterday. I said this might actually be good for the golf fan because now you get Bryson and Brooks and Phil and all the guys back and Cam Smith who you want to see playing on a regular basis. But if there's an opportunity now that Live is going to bring over some of the rules that the traditional golf fan kind of hates, whether it's the 3 rounds or the shotgun start or different things like that, it could be potentially worse for the game of golf. Do you think that this has a net impact, positive or negative, on the viewing habit of fans?
You know, I think it's probably going to eventually, in the long run, turn out the way cricket did years ago. I mean, they had 5-day test matches, and then they all of a sudden in the late 70s, they ended up with the 1-day matches, and it's gotten along. I mean, people like both. I mean, just because Live is not for everybody doesn't mean it's for no one, right? So I think we're going to see different forms of golf being played at the professional level. I think we're going to see team competitions. I think we're going to see 54-hole tournaments. We may see shotgun starts continue. We may not. I don't know. But for certain, we're going to see a bigger range of competitions other than just 72-hole stroke play, 36-hole cut events. And I think that's good. I think some of those things are going to be really appealing to people who want to watch golf for 4 hours and watch everybody play. Other people may not like it. The traditionalists who like to see golf on for 12 hours a day in the summertime. But it's going to be a much bigger scope of golf competition. I'm certain of that.
Peter Kostis joining us, Kostis and McCord on YouTube. Subscribe now. Peter, Jay Monahan, PGA commissioner, he made this very personal. The golfers who left the PGA and defected to the Live Tour. What is he like as a person? Because he's been painted as a villain here.
That's a tough question for me to answer, as well for Gary, because, and this is our opinion. We have some background information, but I'm convinced he had something to do with Gary and me not being renewed at CBS because he wanted the telecast to get younger. I don't think that he is a very transparent individual. And I think maybe in this position that he's in right now, he might be in a little bit over his head.
Hey, Peter, this is an awesome chat. We love having you on this show. You're always invited to join us. This is obviously a world of sports rattling moment. I really think just the way things have set up with this new conglomerate, and we were discussing this earlier today. I mean, this may not just change golf. This may change sports, the way this all went down. So we appreciate your time. We know you're a busy guy these days, especially on a day like today. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I always appreciate being on with you guys. And I must say that I had one image of you guys when we were just doing radio, and I got a whole different image now that I got visuals to go along with the voices.
We'll write letters apologizing, Peter. Also, good luck on your fast. I did notice in the background here, very beautiful where you're at. I'm going to guess there's not a Little Caesars close.
Yeah.
There's not a Little Caesars within 50 miles of me.
You're in the clear, man.
That's worth the drive, Pete. That's a real shame. Yeah. Honestly, if there is one, it's worth 50 miles in the country.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, enjoyed it. Anytime.
Hey, you bet. Thank you, Pete. There goes Peter Kostis. Awesome chat. I mean, really, that last bit about Jay Monahan, like, he's not a very transparent person. That is a big issue with these golfers who, the golfers we're talking about, the ones who defected to the Live Tour that he absolutely trashed. And when you make it a good versus evil thing, like Peter outlined, this morality thing, like you are going to the people who helped fund 9/11, those attacks. Like, so you're literally being paid by those people and then going back on that word.
So you made it emotional.
Yeah.
You invoked emotion in the general public to try to steer people away from Live Golf.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're jumping back in.
But
But when you think of golf, who do you think about? You don't think about Jay Monahan.
No.
You think about Tiger Woods. You think about Rory. You think about John Rahm. You think about Scotty Scheffler. Those guys probably have more power than Jay Monahan does. I don't think he keeps his job much longer. Unless the people making decisions on who keeps whose job is Live Golf.
Well, they are. But here's the thing, that point I was making about the players unifying. Like, here's the deal. Jay Monahan's going to have a job with this new conglomerate regardless. He is a CEO for a for-profit entity now. He's the reason, or part of the reason, he and the two henchmen that he brought along with him for these discussions with the Crown Prince's second-hand man for all this to go down in the first place. He is now a CEO. So he's going to have a job regardless. Now, will he remain the PGA commissioner? That remains to be seen. Will golfers want to put up with anybody else who's going to tell them what to do? That's the other thing. Not only did he trash the Live golfers on their way out, but he also completely crushed Rory McIlroy, Will Zalatoris, like you said, Scotty Scheffler, Tiger Woods' opportunity to earn guaranteed money on Live Tour.
And they went out and were protecting the PGA Tour in press conferences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vehemently. Like John Rahm vehemently was protecting the PGA Tour.
So he's made enemies on both sides of
Right.
this.
Right. McElroy came out and said he feels like a sacrificial lamb. And I mean,
He was.
And then I was trying to find the total amount of money that they're saying that Live Golf will pour in here to the PGA merger. $2 billion at the moment.
Yeah.
$2 billion.
There's reports of it being $3 billion already.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already outdated at $2 billion.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys, so you watched the first season, The Full Swing on Netflix? Or did you start it? Know what it is? You know what it is?
Yeah, I did.
The cameras were rolling yesterday as some of these guys found out on Twitter. Literally on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're going to get their unfiltered first reaction.
How about this? We found out that Rory McIlroy, he found out on Twitter.
Justin Thomas was on the driving range when he found out.
Yeah, somebody told him. Somebody told him because they saw it on Twitter.
And you would have to think they would go, yeah, that's not real.
Well, the crazy thing about it is, like, I mean, because we know how social media is, like, I mean, it doesn't take long to figure out it is real. I mean,
I'm with you.
Like, my first reaction was shock. I'm not a golfer. I'm sure you're
Travis
right.
said it yesterday. I didn't believe him.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Well, and I honestly, when the headline came up, I thought, well, is this a joke? And then, no, wait, hold on, this is happening. And then the breaking news stuff came out. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, one of those moments in sport that we look back on and we say, and that's when it all changed. Because this has been going on internationally for a long time. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Saudi private investment fund has a huge stake in F1 racing.
What were you telling me about Lionel Messi?
Okay, so check this out. There is a standing offer right now to make Lionel Messi the highest paid player on the planet ever in the world of sports, not just soccer. There is a standing offer for $400 million per year. Not a one-time guaranteed payment. $400 million per year for him to play, I believe, for one of the Saudi teams.
It was just announced, like, within the last hour that Lionel Messi is joining the MLS team in Miami.
Right.
So I don't know if this standing offer, but
you can still play internationally and play in the MLS like many players. And so what a lot of international players do is they almost kind of warm up with the MLS and then they play for their home country's team, or they play for maybe not their home country's team, but they play for an international team that they belong to a club. What the Saudi private investment fund is trying to do is do to soccer what they've done now to golf.
And don't think it stops there, because next up would be basketball, then baseball, and then our precious little baby here in the U.S., the NFL.
$400 million a year internationally.
Money talks, bro.
And then the MLS. That means his salary is about $400 million, $30 $36,000.
No, dude. Like when David Beckham came over and was playing in LA, that dude was making bank.
Yeah,
And Messi's gonna be making bank in Miami with all the OnlyFans models.
I put the link
That's
in the rundown, by the way, of Rory finding out if you wanted to play any of that. But it's rough. Oh yeah, we do. That's right. We're up against the clock here.
Oh, it's insane. This is insane. All I know is that it's coming. What they were able to do to golf, it's coming for other leagues, and it may happen to soccer next. But like you said, Ben, it doesn't stop there because they already have an ownership stake in the NBA.
Yeah, and it was called a bottomless pit of money.
They already have an ownership stake in the NFL. Now it's not a majority ownership, and not a lot of people know that, but they're already in. So their foot's in the crack of the door. It's just waiting to be blown wide open. Speaking of feet, gotta talk to you about the Good Feet store. I go to the Good Feet store to really, I mean, I originally went there because it was offered to me, hey, come on down, see what we're all about. So I did. And then I walked out of there with these arch supports, and I never really wore orthotics before. During the course of my playing career, a lot of my teammates would wear them in the NFL or in college. Michael Robinson, who you see on commercials for the Good Feet store, was my quarterback in college, and he wore them. And I'm just like, yeah, not for me. Well, I started wearing them, and I wish I would have done it during my playing career because my back feels better. My knees feel better. Hip pain virtually eliminated as soon as I started wearing these things. Foot pain, gone. So if you're like me, if you've got some lower body pain in one of your joints that's been bothering you for a long time, it lingers regardless of the medication you take or the physical therapy you do, get to the Good Feet store. Your feet are the foundation of the rest of your body. These arch supports are precision fit to your personal needs, lifestyle, profession, footwear. This company is ran by great people. They're made in America. The arch supports are made in a factory in Carlsbad. Can't wait to take a tour, by the way. I've been offered a tour up there. I want to see how this is all done. 30 years of experience, 200 locations across the U.S. and overseas. You got to get to the Good Feet store. Book your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, joins us next.
Our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee. We'll talk Padres coming up next.
This update is presented by Staples Stores. We're going to begin here with the world of golf as the PGA Tour and Live Golf have merged leagues. Live Golf, which is funded by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, has been putting on their league since June 9th, 2022, just before their one-year anniversary. The two leagues have come together. In a private meeting yesterday with PGA Tour players and PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan, Monahan was called a hypocrite, and multiple players asked for a change in leadership at the top of the PGA Tour. Oh my God, what is happening? Padres lose yesterday to the Mariners 4-1 as the inconsistent play remains consistent. Another one against Seattle today. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Pods. NBA Finals Game 3 going down tonight in Miami. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Heat Nuggets Game 3, 5:30 tonight. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses print big. Right now, get $15 off signs, banners, posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends July 1st. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. And this is your sign to try Staples, where your prints are perfect, guaranteed. I'm going to need an explanation there. What just went down?
It's Big Rich and Fletch.
Is that Mission Impossible? Are you Tom Cruise?
Look, he was coming in hot. Okay,
should I reenact it?
Rich, yeah. Should we turn a camera around?
Hang on.
Yeah, here we go. Don't injure yourself though before the HBC.
That's a good point.
Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
I got a big day of coaching.
So, Rich, you're going to have to come in through the door and reenact this this feat of athleticism. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Oh, wait. Hold on. Rich just went outside and now he's doing like a sales deal. This is incredible, folks. Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait for Rich to come back as he's now being. I think he's actually setting up some sort of endorsement deal right now outside of the door here at San Diego Sports 760. Waiting on Kevin Acee to join us here. He'll be with us in just a few minutes. We'll talk Padres. We'll break down, what we can do to fix things. If there's anything we can do, I feel like some collective good thoughts might help. Also, we're going to ask him how we're going to get anybody from the UT out at the HBC to cover this. Because look, it's a very, very big deal. A very big deal. Okay, here we go. Rich is now ready to go. Here he's going to burst through the door and whoa! Yes. Wow, that was even better the second time.
The entire room shook.
That was even better the second time. Look. I like how you went outside and then started doing a sales deal real quick.
by Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by Hamul Casino. Hamul Casino, fun above all else. Quidel Ortho, changing lives one test at a time.
Yeah, we are now multimedia, right? You're not just going to hear us. You're going to see us. You're going to see a lot of us. We stream this live on YouTube every single day, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And we've been trying for days, weeks now, maybe, to get Kevin Acee to stream with us. He refuses to.
Yeah.
He absolutely
says it's not going to happen.
Kevin, you just missed it. I rolled over a table like I was Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
Is it because Rich keeps asking you to do it shirtless? Is that the issue?
Yeah, we need to see nipples. No doubt about that, Kevin.
We do a lot of talk about Kevin Acee's nipples outside of show hours. I don't know if you're aware, Kevin.
About it. I do. I feel terrible. I know you guys hate me. I do.
Yeah.
We
hate you. We love you.
That's why you kept me waiting for 90 seconds.
No, Kevin,
Rich was jumping over tables.
I'm going to
sorry
send
about
Passive
you.
aggressive.
I'm going to send you some of the sketches I've made of you, Kevin.
That's not gonna make me uncomfortable.
You know, Kevin, I asked him to draw you like one of his French girls, and he did it.
Like in Titanic.
Yeah, I have a leather-bound sketchbook that's just filled with Kevin Acee.
Like Rose.
Yeah.
Like Rose did for Jack.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Just little doodles. Just little
fun.
Yeah, it's fine. Things to remember you by.
Kevin, are you aware of the Hardwood and Balls Classic? Is that being tossed around the newsroom there at the UT?
Yeah.
Why does that sound like something that I should be aware of?
Okay. Well, because you should.
We've talked about it with you before.
Yeah.
The Hardwood.
okay.
The Hardwood and Balls Classic for the uninitiated or the uneducated is the biggest San Diego sports moment, I would say, of ever.
Since Lamont hit the shot, Lamont hit the shot in the Final Four. I'd say that's above it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on how this plays out today. I mean, there could be some just
Jake
magical
Cronenworth
moments
in Game 4 against the Dodgers, I want to say.
So it's Ben Fletcher, our co-host here, is taking on Darren Smith's producer, Jonathan Rifkin, in a 1v1 basketball game, and it's going to happen on the Mesa at the Jam Center. We're going to have special guests all over the place. Dave Velasquez might do some color commentary for the 1v1 basketball game. I mean, is this something that, are there going to be reporters and columnists from the UT on campus today for the event?
This sounds right up Bryce Miller, just about exactly what he's qualified to do.
That's exactly what we said when we talked to Bryce on Monday, and he said no.
Yeah, we asked Bryce, and he was like, "No, thank you."
He was like looking for stuff that he was busy with that day.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I know he is going to be at the game today, but I can imagine now. I mean, I'm not going to have to wonder why there's not a lot of people there.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
know where they are.
When the press box is empty. You're not going to have to be like, I wonder where everybody is.
Don't worry, Kev. By that time, the Padres will already be up 10-1 because it's the day after a game. They only scored 1 run. So you could just pull us up on YouTube and you'll be able to watch it.
Oh, this is on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's going to be live stream, Big Rich TD Fletch on YouTube, and then also simulcast on San Diego Sports 760 Twitter. So you'll have multiple avenues to find it.
We can shoot you the link.
Busy, right? Because if the Padres are, because they're scoring so many runs, and I feel like I should do my job. Will I be able to watch it later?
Oh yeah.
It'll be saved as an episode that you'll be able to watch
it with your kids.
Honestly, with your kids, you probably want to watch it multiple times.
I'll send him the workout comp.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing. Like, I know this streaming and somehow this all works out for eventually, but like this is the kind of thing that feels like it should be pay-per-view.
Well,
next year.
There's some TV rights stuff we're still working out. But yeah, you're right.
I will say this, Kevin, you're an idea man. We didn't think necessarily about doing like a what do you call it? Like
OnlyFans?
Like an OnlyFans or something along those lines. But yeah, pay-per-view might be the way to go here. Honestly, if the Padres were pay-per-view, they wouldn't have as many subscribers as the Big Rich TD Fletch Hardwood and Balls Classic, because it's been a painful season this year. From your personal standpoint, okay, because I know you cover this team and you're at every single game and you're on the road with them, but you're also a person. At least we're fairly certain. When you set your own expectations, right? as a guy watching baseball, has this been for you like a truly underwhelming season? Because for fans, for people who don't spend as much time with these players or these coaches or have the insight you have, it has been painful.
Yes, I think I think naturally, because I'm there, and also just that's what I really try to have perspective, that maybe I'm a little more patient or less invested. I whatever it is. But yes, I mean, there's no way you could not be underwhelmed by what these guys are doing. And it's unfortunate for everybody. I mean, there are plenty of guys in there that I feel terrible for. I know that they're trying and all that. But the fact is, this is their job to do better than this, and they're not. And it is grossly disappointing. Absolutely. And there's not really much more you could say, right? Like, I try every single day to provide perspective on this, both when they win and be like, okay, this isn't, doesn't mean this or whatever. And both when they lose and say, okay, this maybe doesn't mean this, and, talk people off the ledge or what have you. But yeah, the answer is an emphatic yes, that there's just no way around it. And I don't know, while it's happening, sometimes it's difficult to do that.
And we're talking with our Padres insider, Kevin Acee from the UT. And Kevin, I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, I know that there's some changes, as far as the order, the lineup, that sort of a thing. But any of the players talking about trying to change anything? Maybe grow a mustache? Maybe, do something to change up? Yeah, change the routine here a little bit.
Grisham shaved his mustache, but then, of course, he had back spasms at that night, so he hasn't played without that. So that obviously could be the thing that's sort of missing, the latest thing that's sort of missing. That's about it though. Like Tatis still has the dreads. I guess Manny did. You know how he wears the pants all the way down, right? Like one game he wore he wears them baggy. He wore them tight one game. And then just a couple nights ago, he wore the calves, the socks showing. So, they're trying hard to do the important things, like you said, but so far, nothing has worked.
Kev, a lot was made about your interaction with Juan Soto post-game when he motioned somewhere and said the other guys, right? I listened to your interview with Darren Smith on Monday following that interaction. And I think everyone's sort of on the same page. Maybe there's a language barrier. Maybe there's something. It was a lot to do about nothing. But have you followed up on that story at all?
No, Juan has not exactly been entirely available. And I'm working on some other stuff. But
have you thought
also, in talking with other people, just sort of became less urgent about it, in that, like you said, I really feel like it was like anybody but me. And I don't mean that like as necessarily as bad as it sounds, but like, Juan's doing his job for the most part. There's even with that close to 900 OPS, there's some real key moments that Juan Soto is not coming through, that you expect a $23 million guy who's compared to Ted Williams, that he would come through a little bit more. But, no, to answer your question, I haven't been, and there have been several moments that I've wanted to. There's just been so much going on with this team.
Last year, I had no doubt. This year, if I'm being perfectly honest, doubt starting to creep in. Is Bob Melvin the right manager for this team?
And why do you ask? Just because the way things are going and the confidence, and there's just you feel like that there's got to be something that somebody could do, because I would understand that. Is that,
yeah,
why you would ask? And do you hate that when people answer a question with a question?
I'll answer your first question. Yes. So you nailed it on the head. I think last year I felt like there needs to be an adult in the room, and all of a sudden Bob Melvin's that guy. And this season, I'm starting to feel like, okay, whatever messaging worked last year, I think maybe he fired some of those shots this year, and the outcomes weren't as positive as they were last year. And I don't know if that's a timing thing. I don't know if the message has already gotten stale. I don't know if there's a lack of ability to relate to a younger locker room for an older manager. I don't know what's going on because, like, to be perfectly frank, I don't think age should even be discussed because there's plenty of older managers who have gotten a lot out of their rosters. Dusty Baker, most recently.
Bruce Bochy.
Bruce Bochy, another one. But there is, it feels like some sort of disconnect between what we're hearing from the manager and what we're seeing on the field.
I am almost always going to be the guy that says, do your frickin' job, to the players. I'm only going to entertain that about Bob Melvin because it's like my job to do it. And I've been doing it, right? Like, so I ask these questions of myself and others. It's like I am the luckiest guy in the world. I'm married to someone who makes like exponentially more money than I do, is so much smarter and empathetic and like wonderful than I am. And yet I second guess her all the time, right? Like, but it's like, I know that she's right, but like, I second guess her, kind of like for her own good, right? Like, so I can be there for her. And that's like what I feel like doing to Bob Melvin is like, well, could he have done this slightly better? Well, maybe he could have. But like, would anyone have done it any better in that moment? I mean, are we asking him to be like perfect and like it's like, no, for God's sake, Manny, stop hitting 220.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you what, maybe it's true. And you're going to get me going here. And I went off a little bit on Darren's show the other day. And sometimes I get a little too like, I don't know what it is, but like maybe Bob Melvin isn't relating to these guys. Maybe. I don't think that's the case. I certainly saw an incredibly deep connection last year. And when you're in the middle of something right now that's going so poorly, sometimes like you don't exactly know what to interpret that you see. But I don't know that I experience that right now. But why would I when the team's struggling like this? But I do see signs that he connects with these guys now. But regardless, maybe he's not getting through in the perfect way. Oh, so are they supposed to have a third manager in 2 years, basically? In 2 calendar years? They're supposed to, like, that's the manager's fault? At some point, you want to talk about the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and getting rid of managers. And I'm not saying Andy Green should have been kept, and I'm not saying Jace Tingler should have been kept. But, like, really? That's what we're going to do? I'm blown away by that.
Little heated there, Kevin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I knew when it was happening. I knew before it was happening. And I still did it.
You could not help myself.
I just want you to take some deep breaths. It'll be fine. We're just asking a question. I know we're up against the clock here.
Not at you. That was not at you, Rich. Like,
no,
I
know.
understand that.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's and you know what,
to be eye and tell me that.
To be perfect,
I wish we could.
To back you up, like we're in very different seats. You're covering this team on a daily basis. You're speaking to the gentleman that we're talking about here on near a daily basis. But we're paid too to ask questions that we don't necessarily want to ask sometimes. Like, I don't really want to question Bob Melvin. He's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know. But I know that through the lens of a fan, that there are occasions where you see things that unsettle you, and your first thought or instinct is to say, "Well, somebody needs to be blamed here. So who is it?"
Yeah. And you know what? He may end up getting fired, and I don't know. That may end up being like the move or something, right? Like that happens all the time, and okay. And we'll see where it goes from there. But like, it's just bizarre to me, not the question necessarily. Like I said before all that, like I got a little, uppity about it, right? That wasn't the right word. It wasn't uppity. It was just, whatever.
Impassioned.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been asking the question myself. I have. I guess you know what my answer is. I get it. I don't get every question about him, like there's certain things, but I do understand questioning. And by the way, you're not getting rid of the players that are making all this money.
Nope.
So, that's also the other thing. And I'm not even sure people realize they do it, right? But already, you're not getting rid of the player who keeps striking out.
Yeah.
Because of the contract. So somewhere in your brain, well, we got to get rid of someone, and there's only a few people you can get rid of. The hitting coach, the pitching coach, the manager, the quality control coach, the general manager. You're not getting rid of the owner.
No.
Yeah, no. You're right. You're right. And before we let you go, though, real quick, Hardwood and Balls Classic, J Riff, Ben Fletcher, who are you taking?
Yeah, which horse are you backing?
100% Fletch.
Yeah. I mean, you heard it here.
That's Kevin
100%.
I thought the Padres were going to be good too. So I don't know if that's going to mess with your confidence or anything, but
thank you, Kevin. Yeah. Love you, man.
Right, we'll see you.
We'll see you in a week.
I think we have to put a bow on that little segment there, Ben Fletcher.
The thing.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760 is brought to you by Hamul Casino. With thousands of slots, table games, and a sports bar voted San Diego's best, Hamul Casino is always a fan favorite. Quidel Ortho is proud to be the official diagnostics partner of the San Diego Padres. Quidel Ortho has been making a difference every day, changing lives one test at a time.
All right, we're idiots. We wrap this show up. Coming up next. All right, so we may have screwed up a little bit. Our show's actually over.
Like now.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you, Kevin Acee. Thank you, Peter Costas.
Thank you, texters. Thank you, everyone.
The
Hardwood
hangers.
and Ball Classic.
The bangers.
Yeah.
The groupies. The hangouts. The show's over. Hardwood and Balls Classic coming up today on John and Jim.